Space, humanity's last horizon. These are the records and expeditions of the Federation starship Lovelace. Assigned an ongoing galactic charter, the intrepid crew of the Lovelace explores the excitement of strange new worlds, encounters new life forms and new civilizations, and ultimately seeks to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Trek Adventures Loveless. My name is Nicotine. I'm here joined today by a fantastic cast. I'm very happy you're here. Hello, everyone. If you're listening to the show on podcasting apps such as Spotify or Stitcher, know that we record this show live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific. That's 6 p.m. Eastern here at twitch.tv/FableScraps. You can find our VODs on YouTube. You can find our going live announcements on Twitter, and you can find our community at fablescraps.com/discord, where you can post fan art and questions for the cast and crew. It's a lot of fun. I encourage you to come hang out at fablescraps.com/discord. With that out of the way, I'd like to discuss Star Trek Adventures Loveless. This is a show that is that hinges upon two big mechanics. There is a pool of points known as threat points, which the DM may use in order to gain a particular, in order to introduce a new complication or a new problem that the crew has to solve. There's a pool of points called momentum, which the crew may use in order to make re-rolls or gain information about a certain scene. If you would like to affect the show in meaningful ways, our live audience has the ability to exchange funds for threat points and momentum points. You may do that using !coin in chat. And yeah, I think that covers it, right? That's about it. All right, so without further ado, let's go around and give everybody a little shout out before we start. Let's kick it off with Fist of the Walrus. If Fist sounds good, let's see some ones in chat. Hello, Fist.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Fist of the Walrus, and hopefully everything sounds good. I play Captain Eugene Lockstead, and looking forward to today's episode.
Awesome. Where can we find your content?
You find me over at Fist of the Walrus on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fist. If Locke the Raven sounds good, let's see some twos in chat. Hello, Locke.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
Hi. Hate you. I'm Locke. Shut up!
You can feel the love.
Aww.
God, you giggly idiot. I am Locke the Raven. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch, and sometimes I even play games. I am Commander Herrick, the long-suffering Vulcan first officer on the Loveless. You can also catch me as Ohm13 Fridays on Doomlore, a 40k story, also on Fable Scraps, and on Twitch and Twitter at Locke the Raven, spelled like it sounds.
Thank you, Locke. Next up is Aaron Black. If Aaron sounds good, let's see some threes. Hello, Aaron.
Hi. My name is Aaron Black. I am a writer, and I recently wrote and published a book. If you want to find me, you can find me over on Twitter at Aaron B. Writes. But I'm going to be playing Gregory Belmont, the chief engineer.
Our podcast listeners won't know it, but our Twitch viewers do, so I feel like I should mention it. That is a very nice haircut.
Oh, hey, thank you. God, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Quarantine.
Oh.
Pandemic life.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Next up is Enovan. If Enovan sounds good, let's see some 4s.
Hello there, I'm Enovan, a variety streamer here on Twitch. Typically I stream some roleplay and some just chill games. You can find me at twitch.tv/Enovan, that's ENEVUN. I'm also on the Friday show as well. I play a character known as Yen Bonsell.
Thank you so much, Enovan. All right, so without further ado, I think we should get right. Oh, my name is Nicotine. If I sound okay, let's see some 5s. I just want to make sure that I sound all right before we move on. I'm one of the people here at Fable Scraps. I'm also on our Friday show, Doom Lore, a 40k story. 5x5. All right, we're good. Okay, I think we're just.
You're not just a people. You're the host and writer. Come on.
I write the show here at Star Trek Adventures Loveless. All right.
And you do a fantastic job. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt you. Okay, now go ahead.
Hey,
No, go ahead.
I'll pause for praise.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, we know. All right, go.
Oh.
Here we go.
Start the show.
Go right ahead.
Chief Engineer's Log, Stardate 44518.7. We are currently at the Toronto system, with our destination being the Arcadia system. It's been a long week, but the reverse warp experiment is finally ready for testing. Dr. Tux has been invaluable. Her expertise in warp theory is unparalleled, and she made the entire experience a breeze. Scheduled test in T-1 hour. Here's hoping.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you find yourself in main engineering. The air is electrified by anxiety and fun, and also maybe there's a conduit a little bit not locked down as well as it should be.
Just exposed, absolutely.
There is a definite buzz of activity around the warp core itself. You are a scientist by nature and have developed a technique for reversing a warp drive. Is that right?
That's right. Yep. It sort of inverses the field and allows for an immediate backwards momentum of a starship
You've published
into warp.
several papers on this very subject, and it just so happens that the scientific community, the warp theory community, has taken an interest. There is a warp specialist aboard your ship, and she's been there for about a week. Her name is Dr. Koru Tux. There's a woman in a lab coat, in civilian clothing, near you, working on a panel. She's young. She's about your age. She's very conventionally pretty. But she has a large arrangement of spots all the way down the sides of her head and down her neck. You wonder if the spots continue all the way down her body, but haven't really had a chance to ask.
Yeah.
Well, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, do you ever think we'd make it this far?
You know, I did. I was absolutely sure. I mean, you're brilliant, but you know that. I'm not trying to, not trying to flatter. This is a known thing. And, but honestly, I don't think we would be here without your help. I just want to say thank you.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. Any chance I get to work on a old ship like this. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it seem it's not an old ship.
It really is. It is.
You just don't see very many Excelsior ships very often, you know?
No, we're one of the last ones, but sort of as an experimental ship, what with them putting some of the new systems retrofitted into this one. It's been, I think, invaluable for Starfleet, just from a data perspective. So.
Well, it's certainly charming.
Well, that's a great way to put it. I agree. This is a charming ship.
And everything you've done with the plasma conduits leading out of this chamber for the warp core. Having 2 reactors is great, but these conduits are a work of art. Was this your doing or Starfleet's?
Okay, so technically it's Starfleet's, but I really have to applaud the engineering crew here because they have done so much work to fine-tune how they work. So, all the praise goes to them. They're doing a great job.
Well, that's very humble of you.
Oh, no. I mean, I mean, there's... Okay, it is a little humble. However, there are some very brilliant engineers on this ship. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go very far in their careers.
Well, I'm just happy to be aboard and getting to witness this. This is the first time this will ever happen. This will be a great moment in both of our careers.
Yeah, hopefully it will. I know that the risks have been mostly minimized. With the shakiness that we'd seen in the simulations, I think we've compensated for that, inertia dampeners and whatnot. So, I think things are going to go well.
Well, I triple checked all the cables and the coils today. I went
Okay.
to both nacelles. I made minor adjustments, and I think everything is really, really stable. I think it's going to work.
Okay, that's great.
I'm so excited.
I am too. I don't know. So there's an old Earth tradition of breaking a champagne bottle on a ship when it first gets underway for the first time. I don't know if there's any sort of celebration for something like this, testing new technology that could really change the face of an entire field of science.
Well, when this works, maybe we could celebrate on our own. Main engineering.
Absolutely.
Have a little party.
Yes, I love it. Actually, I know the perfect person to put in charge of that.
As we pan out from main engineering, we focus now on Commander Herrick, who, for all intents and purposes, has been locked away intentionally in the security desk aboard the USS Lovelace, because there is a never-ending queue of people asking when the holodeck will reopen. You've been getting inundated with messages from antsy crew who have been without their holodeck for a week. You know that lots of systems have been disabled in order to make this experiment a reality, and the holodeck is the first one that should be offered up, and it is baffling to you why there are so many, usually human crew members, complaining about not getting their holodeck time or having to have it rescheduled. Chief among them being Ensign Gregory, who appears now at your door.
Enter.
Oh, Commander Herrick, I'm so glad you're here. It's Ensign Gregory.
How may I help you, Ensign?
So, I don't know if you got my last couple reports, so I figured I'd just come down and talk about it. Are you aware of the problems with the holodeck? Do you know what's going on with it?
Eric will turn to the... I don't know what they call their computer interfaces, the computer on his desk, and just sort of
viewer main view screen.
Yeah, but it's like a pad, but it has a keyboard built into it or something.
Yeah.
But he'll swivel that towards himself, sort of type in a few things, and then pull up the litany of requests from Gregory, and then one just half an hour from this time, and spin it around and just, yes, I have gotten every one of them and read them.
Oh, good. Do you know maybe when I can get some time in the holodeck?
Ensign, this was explained at length to the crew as to why the holodecks would be offline.
Yeah.
And how long they would be offline.
Right. Well, I was thinking since we waited, so long to get holodeck time, maybe I could schedule myself early, just schedule myself right now, be like the first one in. That's possible.
Herrick will swivel the interface back to himself and do a few more little button pushes. I do believe scheduling something would be most pertinent, Ensign Gregory.
Really?
I've taken the liberty of scheduling you time with the ship's counselor to perhaps work through why this is such a monumentous, imperative thing you need to have.
Ensign Gregory has gone white. The blood has drained from Ensign Gregory's face. The counselor?
Yes, Ensign. The counselor.
The counselor. Are we sure that that's totally necessary, or? Because I work, in the Jeffers tubes near Cargo Bay too, and it's so hot and moist and dark. It's so dark. Is it? Because I won't ask ever again. I don't need holiday time. I'm fine, really. I'm good. If you just want, I don't need to be scheduled for that, right?
The appointment has been set.
Oh, okay. Well,
I expect a report.
oh, okay. Okay. Ensign Gregory is near tears. Okay. Sure. Thank you, Commander Harrick. I'll have it.
Ensign Gregory,
Yes? Yes?
compose yourself.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Is he trying to take apart something in there while he's, seems real fidgety.
Just crying. Just trying not to cry. Ensign Gregory's gonna turn on his heel and then turn back around and salute you and then turn back around and walk towards the door. Oh, Ryak, yeah. Yeah, he's in. Go ahead. So Ryak walks through your door, clutching himself. Commander Herrick. Hi, Ensign Ryak. I was just wondering about, the holodeck. As we pan out to the bridge of the USS Lovelace, a magnificently retro bridge. The USS Lovelace is an older model of ship in Excelsior class. Its bridge is a circular type of station. There's a helm in front of the captain's chair, along with scanning systems, engineering. Security is located behind. But it is certainly an older model, and you can tell by looking at it. Lieutenant Ram, you're at the helm, your station. The artificial crewmate is able to connect with the ship in a very special way, with a report on the back of his neck. Captain, you are seated at your captain's chair. You are receiving live reports from main engineering, and in fact, main engineering is now on the main viewer, and you can see from above several different angles of the warp core. It is, you can't be certain, but perhaps glowing a little brighter. You may discuss the experiment with Lieutenant Ram if you decide to do so.
Lieutenant Ram, you notice the core just glowing a little brighter. Do you think that's normal?
I don't believe it to be normal, but it might be a side effect of the experiment.
Possibly.
I'm not sure if it
Well,
means something good or bad.
Well, I'm sure they know what they're doing. Honestly, I can't make sense of any of this. It's just interesting to watch, though. It's very exciting stuff Lieutenant Commander Belmont has achieved.
Oh no, it's definitely
Implications.
interesting. I can't say I understand the intricacies of it myself, but, it's interesting to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Just imagine the possibilities of this technology. We'll be able to get ourselves out of tricky spots so much easier. The maneuverability, just alone. To mention,
yes.
to mention what we'll be able to find out after having the technology and see what else we can. I mean, really, just boggles the mind. What have you been getting up? What have you been getting up to, Lieutenant Ram?
Oh, you know, the usual, maintaining the plans, making sure that we're not crashing into anything. You know, that sort of stuff.
How has the compound worked out for your other plants? Are they healthy?
Oh yes, the new ones are quite healthy with the compound. It doesn't seem to have much effect on my old plants, but the new ones seem to be doing pretty good.
Question. So the captain... So Ram still doesn't know that those are fake plants, and then Captain knows that they are absolutely fake plants, right?
Absolutely. Ram does indeed possess live plants now, but the majority of the plants in the isolinear routing matrix where Ram calls home, the server room aboard the USS Lovelace, is mostly fake plants.
Is it worse? Or is it bad that I'm still like lying to Ram about this?
This is Star Trek. You're going to ask that question a lot.
I think I'll just I think for now I'll just continue the ruse. It's very good, Lieutenant Ram. Yes, I don't know, it must be something different with that species of plant, possibly. It's not reacting as well. Well, seeing that there's no issue, I mean, you know, why even bother applying that compound to those plants if they seem to be doing just fine?
Oh, you are right there. They were doing fine beforehand anyway. It's just been no big change. I'd say the new ones are probably just up to the same amount now, thanks to the compound.
Of course, yes. Well, that's very good. It's very glad to hear that.
There is a notification on the main viewer for you, Captain Lockstead.
Send it through.
Captain, this is the doctor. I'm here. I think we're just about ready for everything. I just wanted to go over a couple of things for you.
Of course.
Okay, so a couple things. We've had to take basically every secondary system offline for this. If this works, we'll be the only ship capable of doing this. And I think the only way that this is going to work is using both of our reactors to accomplish all of the tasks we're going to need to do. So, I'm sorry about the holodeck and transporter and medbay scans and stuff like that, but it's gonna be over pretty quick. The trip should only last about an hour. We'll be traveling at hopefully around warp 3 in a backwards trajectory.
This is very exciting. No need to apologize to me, but I do think you owe Commander Herrick an apology. He's the one who's been taking all of the complaints with the holodeck being down.
I'm so sorry. With any luck, we should have all of the systems recalibrated for forward maneuverability and power distribution within 6 hours.
Very well. This is all very exciting stuff. Who knew that this old ship still had this sort of capability?
They're gonna teach a class about this. That's the academy, I'm sure.
Here is hoping. Well, the best of luck with the experiment. Is there anything you need from me?
Well, I think if you can just make sure that everybody's at their stations and ready to intervene if anything goes wrong, I think would be best. I'm sure you've already run through safety procedures and everything you possibly can with the crew, so just that.
Of course. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and have all crew at their stations and at the ready for the experiment. Just, you said you were going to be performing this experiment here soon?
That's right. We're about 5 minutes out.
Very well. I'll go ahead and alert the crew. Everyone will be at their stations and ready.
Thank you so much, Captain. Tuck's out.
Of course.
The main viewer goes back to a view of main engineering. And you're at the bridge.
Computer, hail all crew members to stations. Preparation for the experiment.
All hands in progress.
Excellent. Thank you very much, computer.
You're welcome.
I think at this time, I would like to patch into, and see how, well, Lieutenant Commander Belmont is with the scientist right now, so...
Dr. Tux and Lieutenant Commander Belmont are both in main engineering. Commander Herrick is still in security, at the security desk.
We go patch the Commander Commander Herrick and see how everything is. Commander Herrick?
Yes, Captain.
How are things going with the complaints?
Disconcerting, but manageable.
Very good. Just thought I'd let you know that normal function should resume within, well, very soon after this experiment, so fortunately you won't have to be dealing with this anymore. Hopefully soon.
Aye, Captain. Though, I must reiterate, the crew's reliance on the holodeck is concerning, to say the least.
Yes, I have heard there have been many complaints lodged about the holodeck, and many crew members are very upset that those systems are down.
I have received 30 complaints and inquiries from Ensign Gregory alone.
That many? Just from him?
I have scheduled him mandatory time with the ship's counselor to further explore the compulsion he seems to have to engage with the holodeck.
You don't think it might possibly have a connection with that one time when we, broke free from the holodeck and then, the whole second me, but more muscly and oiled up and glistening with smooth music playing in the background and a fireplace and tea and a rug, a bearskin, and many portraits and pictures lined the wall?
The captain's, is he sitting in the captain's chair or is he in his ready room?
Captain's chair.
The captain's chair, the little computer that's built into the captain's chair, chirps, and a message basically showing that he's been assigned time with the counselor also has come through.
What's this, Herrick?
Due diligence, Captain.
Due diligence? Do you think that... Okay, maybe I do need to talk to a counselor about that. It was kind of scarring.
That is not for me to ascertain, Captain. However, that program has been deleted.
Thank you, Eric and mate. So, if that program's been deleted, then what is it exactly that... you know what? I don't even want to press further with the matter, Herrick. Just noted, and let's see if we cannot make some sort of alternative for crewmates who rely heavily on the holodeck. I feel that if that system were to go down and this many crew members are so reliant on it for whatever purposes, we might be able to find them other means of recreation or downtime. That's the case.
Aye, Captain.
Very well. The experiment will be starting shortly, and just keep your eyes open. I have all crew members to stations. Hopefully this will be a very safe and very successful experiment.
As well as one could hope, Captain. I will be at my station presently.
Of course. Captain out.
Fantastic. Main engineering. Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you are at a station. Several of your engineering staff are making their final minute adjustments to their independent stations. You are acutely aware of the anxiety in this room. It has been sort of glossed over and kind of understated exactly how risky this maneuver is. Scientific progress is often makes risk assessment obsolete, and here you are with a scientist who is giddy about the possibility of progress and an engineering staff who are sort of nervous about it.
Yeah, I think Belmont would probably have seen the ramping up of the tensions, and as an attempt to not necessarily ease them, but to focus them, he's going around the room and he's pointing like, Saxon, I need you to watch the antimatter mix, the matter and antimatter mix on the first reactor, okay?
Aye.
And I need you to compare it with the second one when the experiment starts. All right, I need you to, and I need you to call out those numbers to me about once every 30 seconds to a minute until we find a stabilized point. All right?
All right, what should I do if the plasma conduit breaks between here and there?
I mean, just
Do you want me to leave the station to go fix it, or should I stay here at the station if it breaks?
No. I need you to focus on those numbers. We've got other people to run around. I'm here with the doctor here, but I'm also available for that. But that's a very specific job, and I know you're going to do a great job doing it. So just pay close attention.
Lieutenant Commander, can I just for a minute?
Sure.
Salixon leads you away over towards a corner to pretend to look at some panel. Lieutenant Commander Belmont.
Yes.
I just wanted, to make sure that you knew what... Well, I don't want this to come off as insensitive, but she's a trill, right?
Oh, yeah. It's fascinating. I mean, two sort of consciousness sort of coming together. It is an incredible way to achieve an almost immortality.
Okay, yeah. Because you've seen the symbiote, right?
Yes, but, alien life is still
absolutely,
life.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's just,
Right.
I have a thing
mean-
with parasites,
Oh, well, I mean, I can understand that, but some life just has a different way of existing, You sort of have to look past the look of things and just recognize that is a sentient, well, it's essentially two sentient beings in one. And I'm not sure when you've had the opportunity outside of maybe medical records to see what that symbiote looks like, but there's likely you never will.
She's definitely the first trill I've ever met in person.
Right, but you haven't seen the actual symbiote itself.
I saw one in a jar one time at the academy.
Oh, right. I know that jar. Yeah. It's just, human bodies. It is, but even the human body has a lot of strange-looking organs inside of it, and I'm sure you've gone through the medical training and see those sort of things. It's just another organ of sorts, just more like another brain, but that's all it is. I'm sorry that you're having this sort of issue.
Oh no, it's not going to impact me or anything. I just, I wanted to make sure you knew.
Oh no, I'm well versed. I mean,
kind of close to her, and I just.
Oh yeah, well the doctor and I have had long discussions. She's actually she's the first trill I've actually spoken to. I've seen a few because it's rare depending on where you are, but I didn't know what to expect at first. Was I going to get two different consciousness referring to each other? I had no idea, but she's a person just like anyone is a person. So. What you might want to do is take the opportunity and have you introduced yourself properly to the doctor?
Yeah. I've had some, we've spoken at the mess hall and stuff around here.
Okay. I would suggest continuing to do that and ask questions. be tactful, but she's very open to discussing it. She's fantastic.
Yeah, she seems really nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I didn't mean to bother you or anything.
No, hey, whenever these things come up, feel free to talk to me about them. I'm happy to discuss anything. It's okay to be concerned about things that you're not really. I mean, it's not really a fear of the unknown, but it's close to approaching that. So I completely understand.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, I'll be at my station.
Great.
All right. Aye. Salixon walks back over to the station. And
Yep.
you're here on the bridge, or on the in main engineering. You've got you've got the warp reactor and the two non-warp reactors functioning at full blast.
Okay.
The room itself is, you can tell it's like a few degrees hotter in here, about 10 degrees hotter in main engineering than it probably would be anywhere else, but you wouldn't know because you've been here for the last 10 hours working on this.
It's so acclimated.
You're acclimated to it. You have been sweating and drinking a lot though, so.
Yeah. I think I would probably continue going around talking to anybody that I have monitoring certain things before coming back to the doctor.
Absolutely. Velma,
saying-
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just... Lieutenant Commander, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it's fine. You can call me whatever's comfortable. I'm not going to be offended.
Well, thank you. You can call me Koru.
Guru. And you sure you don't mind? I mean, I'm...
No, it's fine.
I know I've been very formal speaking with you. I just... I didn't want to overstep any sort of work relationship boundaries. You understand?
You're going to know my first name when both of ours are in the history books.
I do. I like that attitude. I do. But I think the accolades that can come along with this will hopefully pale in comparison to what this can mean for Starfleet. I am very hopeful for what this technology could mean, because if we can go backwards, then we can go at any direction in a moment's notice. So
for emergencies or for I don't know, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, they are. It is exciting. Yeah. So,
What do you think?
How
about
close
that?
are we?
What do you think about that? Oh, we're about 3 minutes away from
okay.
launch.
Okay. No, that's fine. I'm sorry. You were saying?
Everyone's so nervous. I'm feeling all this excitement. I don't know how to handle it because I've just been thinking about what we're gonna do after. We'll throw a little party. Are you able to make synthahol on this ship? Can you replicate that?
So, we can, and the captain has been very not strict about the use of it. I think we, just like with any ship, you'll have some of the younger types, both the officers and enlisted, have a tendency to let things get away with them. And even though synthahol can't really get you, and you know this, it can't really get you too drunk, a few of them have figured out how to make it do that, and I'm actually still not sure how, but the captain's dealt with it pretty, so, drink moderately is the motto here.
I don't think I've told you this, but this is my first joining, and I haven't really had the experience of synthahol yet. It's everybody talks about it like it's some wild, crazy thing, and it's usually kind of frowned upon. So I don't know. I just was thinking, wow, exciting.
Well, we can, once this is all done, we can.
Do you have a favorite?
So there is a synthahol. It's as close to a single malt whiskey as I can get. And it's pretty good. I keep it very neat, just about room temperature. And it's pretty good. It's as close to the real stuff as I guess it can be. But I haven't really tried many different ones.
I want something really exotic. I don't want to settle for pretty good. We should get something wild.
So do you mean like a cocktail of some sort?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm not super versed on different sort of cocktails, but I'm sure we can.
T-minus 1 minute to launch.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess that's that then.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. So, just as a quick rundown, the mixtures are going to go. We're going to see one of them take the brunt of the warp field's generation, the energy, and then we're going to see the other one start to do the inverse process. So, is there anything else that we need to look at before?
Capacitors
we
are
do
fully
this?
charged. Everything's attuned within a nanometer of where it should be. I think we're ready.
Right. Okay. Well, I will.
Here we go.
I'll contact the captain, and then I'll contact the bridge. Captain.
Yes, come in, Lieutenant Commander.
We are ready to go. Before we start, I want to make sure that Lieutenant Ram has the all stop button, as it were, ready to go. Not that I'm expecting anything to happen one way or the other, but just having his finger over the button would make me a little bit more comfortable.
Lieutenant Ram,
Yes, Captain?
you have preparations made just in case. You ready? In case we need to do an all stop?
Yes, I believe we are full prepared for that. I would not
Excellent.
recommend it, but, it needs be.
Right.
Just in case. Lieutenant Commander, he has full control, and we have measures just in case we need to do all stop.
Great. Okay, so I will, with your permission, leave this this line of communication open, and then we will start the process.
Of course. Lieutenant Commander, can I first say I'm very proud of you. If this does work, this will be a momentous occasion. So,
Well-
congratulations.
Well, yeah, I appreciate the congratulations, but let's hold those just in case before we smoke those cigars, as they say. Okay.
Of
Doctor?
course. Whatever that is.
Yes,
Cigar.
Lieutenant Belmont.
So will you go ahead and start the process there?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want
Absolutely.
me to be the one?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. The doctor steps towards the panel with the big red button on it.
Capacitors fully charged. Preparing for discharge in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. The doctor presses the button. And you hear a large, groaning sound from deep within the ship. It is the longest move to warp you have ever heard. Before finally, an extremely odd sensation of moving backwards at warp speed takes hold.
Okay. Right.
I think it's working.
I mean, I got that sort of pull in my stomach, which we had theorized we were going to feel.
All systems nominal on this panel. I think we're working. Do you have telemetry?
Yeah. I mean, we are as on track as we can be. Captain, I have to ask, what does it look like? Can you do, with us being here in engineering, I just want to see if you can put something up on the view screen, and what does it look like from your point of view?
The main viewer, Captain, is almost exactly the same as moving forward at maximum warp, except the trail of stars that you see is inverted. Every star leaves a rainbow because they're moving at a light speed. You can only see like the light is like spread out from a white star. Like you can see all the different colors of the rainbow in it, but the rainbow colors are inverted, moving backwards at warp 3.
Lieutenant Commander, I think you've done it. is a very odd sensation, but it's a beautiful sight.
That's
Congratulations.
fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I guess we will continue to monitor things here, and we're running this for an hour. I am just going to continue walking around and checking the numbers as we go. Yeah.
Main engineering has
absolutely, I
erupted in applause. The doctor looks over at you and just kind of grabs your hand a little bit, like, wow, it really worked.
Yeah, I'd probably hold her hand and be like, I know, right? I mean, we've done the calculations. This is what we expected, but, with anything actually experiencing this is incredible. Incredible. And don't forget the part you played in it, okay? This is more you're doing than mine, considering the massive amount of calculations that you've been able to do. I mean, I am just so impressed with the accuracy of your math. I can't even.
They're going to teach a class about this at the academy.
They might. They absolutely might. I mean, if this is something that they end up putting into other vessels, there will have to be an entire group of individuals that are trained for expertise on warp systems that move opposing of the normal way. I just and to think the first idea I had was to have the nacelles actually turn and swivel. That was the first iteration of what this is.
So many points of failure.
Of course it is. Of course, but then it was, well, if I turn those around, well, can I get the, for the saucer sections, those types of ships, would I just have that, and every step would take so long, and what would be the point? You could have turned around.
Have you ever, I don't even know what you would call it. Have you ever separated the saucer here on the Excelsior?
So funny enough, the saucer here can technically separate, but there's a lot of advisement against it. I don't know. They don't say it's a design flaw necessarily. What was that?
I don't know. I'm looking. Main engineering has been rocked by an explosion. The lights have gone down. Red emergency lights have been brought up. You may make a roll to find out what the problem is.
Okay. What am I,
It will be a insight and engineering roll, a complication of 2, and a task roll of 2.
All right. Oof.
Panel is flickering in and out. Electricity seems to have been disrupted, and your scan is coming up with nothing, although you can tell that several plasma conduits have erupted on main engineering, disrupting flow of plasma to different areas of the ship.
All right. The first thing I would look at is if we are in still any sort of warp. Are we still at warp?
You are still moving at a consistent speed, although the warp field you suspect may not be able to hold much longer.
Right. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is probably yell for the engineering different groups that I have situated to be like, get on the plasma relay right now. I need you to lock down that section, and then I need you to reroute the power.
You hear some screaming from the floor. You see that Ensign Salikson is badly burned near their station by a plasma conduit eruption as we remove 1 point of threat from the board.
Doctor, can you there's a med kit right over there on the wall. Can you start a little bit of
The doctor leaps into action and takes the med kit, applies a hypo spray to put them out consciousness and stabilizes their wounds.
So then I would immediately, Captain, is communication still up?
Communication is up.
Captain.
Oh, is communications up?
Communications is up.
Lieutenant Commander, what is going on?
Okay, so, Captain, we have got a little bit of a power feedback, I think, from just initial reports that I'm seeing. However, it is probably prudent for us to shut down the warp engine at this point. But I need your permission before doing that.
If you're absolutely sure, then yes, you have my permission.
Okay, let me, and I'm gonna look down at the console and see if there's any salvaging should I stay in warp? Is it going to be a danger to pull it out of warp, sort of thing, since it's so different to what normal warp is?
Your console in main engineering is not powered anymore. It has gone completely black.
I think then I'll go. All right, Captain. Yeah. Can you have Lieutenant Ram try and stop us gently if you can?
Lieutenant Ram, stop to initiate that plan. Slowly bring us to a stop.
Right away, Captain.
Lieutenant Ram, your panel has a large red button that says emergency stop. And as you press it, you notice that nothing happens.
Captain?
Why are we not stopping, Lieutenant Ram?
It appears that I cannot stop it.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont.
Yes, Captain.
We are not able to stop the craft. There's something going on.
Right. Okay. I'm going to try. All right, Captain. Give me just a minute, and then I'm going to probably start moving my way around engineering. I'd have to assume that I know some fail-safes that should be in place, so I'd probably start walking towards those to try and shut down the matter-antimatter interaction to try and
You notice plasma leaks everywhere. It is difficult to move through main engineering, and environmental control seems to be failing. It's becoming difficult to breathe. Coolant is leaking, and there's a large amount of smoke, fog, some kind of chemical you probably don't want to breathe. Several of your engineering staff are still scurrying around, trying to fix things, plug holes, but things are becoming more dire as time goes on. Would you like to spend a momentum point?
That's the worst part, spending it now when we may need it later. Yeah, I guess so. I would probably want to, for whatever I'm doing, I do have a focus in warp field dynamics and in experimental technology, so I'm probably going to try and...
You can find one panel. It is not your main engineering panel. It won't tell you as much, but you would be able to make a scan from it, and I will allow you to use a focus.
Okay. So, yeah, I would, absolutely.
All right. It's difficult to see. Complication is going to be 3. Focus used, yes. Task roll 2.
Right.
Insight and engineering.
Oh, my
Full
God.
success. Actually, when you roll a 2 and a 2, you get 1 momentum point.
Oh, shit.
So you've gained a momentum point.
Heck yes.
Oh, man. Okay.
Good job.
Well done.
You turn that focus off so I don't do that next time. All right.
The screen before you is difficult to read, but it tells you essentially that the problem exists in main engineering through several broken plasma conduits. You know that if they were fixed and closed, that the experiment could continue as normal. You also know that emergency stopping with the warp field in the condition that it is would lead to incredible levels of destruction to the hull and potentially rip the nacelles right off the ship.
Oh, all right. So I'll probably relay some information to the captain. Captain.
Come in.
Yes. All right. So, I think this is salvageable. So, I need you to make sure that Lieutenant Ram does not try to stop the ship from this point forward, unless I come back and say that that is okay. And I am going to see what I can do, and I will keep you informed as I go.
Very well. We do not have that option to stop the ship anyways. Lieutenant Ram is unable to.
That is
So,
probably for the best. Right. Okay. So, I'll get back to you, Captain.
very well. Keep us informed. Trust me.
Aye.
Captain,
Yes, Commander Herrick?
I recommend the ship be moved to yellow alert, sir.
Very well. Computer, set us to yellow alert.
Confirmed. Yellow alert active. All hands, yellow alert.
Don't hesitate to ask if you need anything, Lieutenant Commander.
Aye, Captain. Actually, I may need an extra hand or two down here. We're leaking a couple different chemicals, and I am a little concerned about the breathability down here. So, any medical anything on standby. We do have a few injuries.
Commander Herrick, you know that several of your security team are rated for using respirators. Can operate in dangerous, exotic, and hazardous climates.
Eric will send those trained members of security down to main engineering to do what they can.
Ensign May and 2 other members of the security team collect their Type 3 phasers and their rebreathers and march through the ship to the turbo lift and end at main engineering. The sight before them appears dire as the main lights in main engineering are gone. There's only the red flashing and the klaxons and lots of smoke, but they do manage to find the location of the broken conduits. Their lights are on. They do not have tools. Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you can now see where the broken conduits are, but you still have to patch them. What do you do?
Do I have anybody that can that's still near me that can assist with the patching, or am I going to have to do it myself? Is everyone else engaged?
Ensign Gregory is near you.
Perfect.
Has not left your side and
Oh,
does
fantastic.
not want to leave your side. And
Yeah,
also
that's-
appears to have dried tears on his face.
It's going to be okay, Gregory. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Yep, we're going to get through this. I tell you what I am going to need you to do, though. We're going to have to patch up these conduits as quickly as possible. So,
Conduits.
we're going to treat this just like any sort of medical procedure. I'm going to have you hand me a couple of tools in succession. So, stay near me.
Okay. Can do.
Fantastic. All right, let's go.
Ensign Gregory follows you towards the first rupture. Okay. Yeah, what can I get you? What do you need?
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we actually need to stop the power flow before we patch it. So you can do that from that panel over there. So
Okay, this one?
you know the shutdown sequence for this. Go ahead and put that in.
Okay, okay, right.
Yep.
Type in the
Slow movements.
Yeah,
Slow movements.
Got it. Okay, yeah, it's in.
Okay, good job. Okay, then I'd probably use the scanner to make sure that the line was dead. The conduit itself was not active.
Okay. It's not active.
Okay, all right. So I need a. Oh God, let's see. I have a couple different things that I can use, but I think I would. I don't know if I have it on me, but hand me your multi-tool.
Multi-tool. Hands you a multi-tool.
All right. So, and then I am actively trying to, I guess, realign the conduit if it can be realigned. If I don't need a brand new one. So I guess a visual.
It can.
Yeah, it can. Okay. So I'm going to try and realign it as quickly as possible and as safely as possible.
All right. You may make a roll, a daring and engineering roll with a complication of 2. Task roll of 2.
Okay. Whew.
You expertly managed to use your multi-tool to essentially weld this plasma conduit into place. It is a highly dangerous maneuver. At any point, this could rupture and explode, covering you in molten plasma. But you managed to do it safely. One of 3 plasma conduits have been plugged. You see the next
Okay.
one near you.
All right, let's go to the next one. Then
Okay.
get up with Gregory.
Sure, okay. Right behind you.
Okay, so do the same thing as before. Shut it off.
Okay. It's off.
Okay. And then again, cursory look. Is there anything specific I need to do outside of realigning and
Just
essentially
realigning
welding
and
it?
welding it.
So same thing. Gonna do that again.
Exactly.
Okay.
Full success. You managed to expertly weld this one as well. It's probably no surprise given that you're the chief engineer aboard the Lovelace and probably do this a lot. You see the next
Right.
one on the other side of the room.
Okay. Let's head over there.
Okay, I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you.
Yep. All right. Go ahead and shut it off.
Okay. It's off.
All right. Take a look. Same thing.
Everything looks exactly the same.
All right. Here we go. Fucking right.
Full success.
Woo!
3 full
Goddamn.
successes in a row.
That's insane.
Wow. You weld this plasma conduit shut with ease and grace of a chief engineer. Your plasma conduit problem has been fixed, and you can throw a main breaker aboard in main engineering and throw all the power back to normal. There's no more leaking and smoking.
I would probably, I'd go do that. I'd make sure environmental controls are quickly venting any noxious gases. And then I would relay to the captain. Captain,
Come in, Lieutenant Commander.
I think we're in an okay situation right now. The experiment is on course. I've been able to fix the majority of the damage. However, I'm going to give the system a once-over before I shut anything off, and then I'll let you know if it needs to be shut down. But again, depending on how you feel about the experiment itself, this was a little surprising. I mean, the systems being what they are, the plasma conduits having the issues that they do have on a ship as old as this is, it could be concerning for the experiment if we move forward.
I need a yes or no. Do you think we should end the experiment? Is it no longer safe, or do you wish to continue?
It is. Okay, yeah. I'm not even sure. What would I say at this point?
Well,
have I made an assessment?
You know that there's about 30 more minutes left to your destination, and you're on course, and all systems look nominal, and you fixed whatever problem there had been. Dr. Tux is looking up at you with pleading eyes like, we can't stop here.
Right. Okay. So, Captain, since I know what the issue most likely was, it was an overload, and the overload itself affected some of the side systems outside of the actual warp field. I think we're okay to continue for now. We're going to monitor the load throughout the plasma conduits as well as the warp field and whatnot. So I think we can continue.
Very well, Lieutenant. Lieutenant Commander, we will continue the experiment. And if anything else comes up, be sure to let us know.
Aye, Captain. Right away, I will.
Very well.
Commander Herrick, your security team has reported an all clear in main engineering.
Captain,
Yes, Commander Herrick?
security reports all clear from main engineering. They are standing by.
Let's keep them there for now, just in case we have another incident, but looks like Lieutenant Commander Belmont was able to get a hold of the situation.
Commander Herrick, you're receiving a report now from main engineering that all 3 of your security team members have been burned by plasma burns and require medical attention.
Oh. Eric will simply tell them to report to medical and then cycle in more security. While they may not have exactly the training needed, more bodies on hand just to help the situation if possible.
Certainly. You're able to cycle 2 more members of security towards main engineering. And the experiment continues. Eventually, you hear a message from the ship's main computer.
Captain,
Yes, computer?
we are approaching the designated ending spot.
Very good. Patch me in with Lieutenant Commander Belmont.
Open line.
Lieutenant Commander, it seems that we're fast approaching our destination. Congratulations. Seems everything's been working well, besides that small hiccup so far. Now, I hate to inquire, be so inquisitive, but how are we going to stop, seeing as this is different than usual warp?
So the process should be a very similar process. It's a slow reduction of the warp field for us to slow our momentum as inertia dampeners work, so we don't splatter against the wall. And they should do the same routine process that they would otherwise. We have gone through the process and made sure that they are online and ready, and we are constantly checking them.
I see. My concern is, since this is a new experiment, do you think it would be prudent to stop short of our destination just enough to give us some distance in case things are complicated with this experiment?
I think that is a fair and probably prudent action we should take. Absolutely, we can start the process now. We may be short of actually being within the system itself, but sure. I mean, especially after the little hiccup we had, I can absolutely start the process now.
Very well, just it doesn't need to be cut so short, but just enough we're in the system and close by, just to make sure everything's working as it should. And
sure, yeah. Buffer,
if the stop
absolutely.
is successful, then we can continue the rest of the way.
Right. All right. Well, I will. I'll work with the doctor here, and we'll start the process.
Very well. Thank you, Belmont.
Absolutely,
And
Captain.
that is all. Captain out.
Well, good work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it did work. Some injuries, which that's the nature of working with experimental technology. Not that that's going to ease the pain.
I checked
if
up
anyone-
on Salixon, and medical says they're about 35 minutes away from a full recovery. So.
Oh, well, that is much better than what I expected. Those burns can go deep.
Yeah.
All right. So, with what the captain was saying, we can go ahead and start the process to start slowing her down easily, instead of the stop we were looking at doing before.
It's gonna
We
take a
will,
light touch, Belmont. You sure you're up for the challenge?
Absolutely. I know these systems inside and out.
All right. Well, tell me when.
All right. On my mark. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Mark.
The process is underway, and you feel that same lurching sense that's so different and opposite of how you normally experience going to warp. And the ship gracefully comes to a impulse in your exact destination where you needed it to go.
Okay. All right. So, first things we need to do. We need to look at the energy buildup and exactly why that happened. Because it wasn't supposed to. I mean, obviously we see that it did, but that was a little surprising, and we need to make sure that that is not a design flaw for the experiment, and it's more likely the ship.
Belmont,
Yes.
1 second. And Dr. Tux addresses the entire room and just says, "We did it, everyone!"
Oh, yes, of course. Well done, everybody. Well done. Right. Thank you for saying something.
They needed a win.
They did. I'm sorry. I get focused. Yeah, that was that. I'm going to be honest with you, and this is nothing towards your work or anything. It went a lot better than what I expected, and not because of how much work we've done or any fault of our own. Have you heard the term gremlins in the system before?
She's moved closer to you. Yeah, I know what gremlins are.
Right, well, this ship has a fair share of its gremlins, and I think we kept them at bay today.
I think we did too. How about a drink?
You know what? I could really use one right now.
Come on. As we pan out from main engineering, Commander Herrick, you are at your security station performing the requisite security scans of this new system. You notice several planets, planetary bodies, icy bodies, a Class F star, the normal
VODs.
types of things that you would notice in a system like this. There's also a shimmer on your system. You think it could be a bug, electromagnetic interference. It could be any number of things. This system, this reverse warp drive system, is clearly something that's never been done before. But you know from the debrief that it will take about 6 hours before all of the other important systems are back online, like medical scans and transporters and holodecks. Still, though, you notice this shimmer.
Captain,
Herrick?
I do not believe it to be any cause for concern yet. But I noticed an irregularity in my console. I suggest a level 1 diagnostic.
What kind of irregularity?
Something akin to a ripple or shimmer along the surface of it.
Well, let's run a diagnostic, and once that's been complete, we'll send it over to Lieutenant Commander Belmont for evaluation. Seeing as this is a new experiment, we might have interesting data popping up.
Aye, Captain.
Main engineering.
Eric will,
Oh, yeah.
No. Eric will start the diagnostic on his station.
Okay. The diagnostic is in full swing. The reports of the diagnostic are preliminary, but they suggest that there's nothing entirely wrong with your station, just that sensors are still coming back online.
Yep.
It is odd for a shimmer like this to occur in open space at a specific point, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could be related to the experiment.
Eric will be alert, but as long as nothing further commences, he'll just chalk it up to a side effect of the experiment.
Sure. Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you are in the mess hall. There is a event happening in the mess hall. Several engineering members of your team are patting themselves on the back, having a drink, having fun, and you are seated at a table with Dr. Tux, Koru.
So, I'm sorry. What is this drink? Mojito.
It's a human
right?
drink. You don't know what this is?
No, I've never had this. I mean, it's not bad.
It smells like lotion.
Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't gonna say anything, and I
Is there
mean,
plant matter in this? It looks like there's plant matter in this drink.
there's got to be, right? I mean, I pull out a scanner, but I can't imagine what that would look like here. So, well, I mean, it's not bad. It's just different, and different's okay. So, I have to ask you,
Yes.
what are your plans now that this experiment has run its course?
Well, I just really want to. This is gonna sound silly.
Sure.
The Symbiosis Commission took a big risk with me. It's my first joining, and they only select 1 in 1,000 of us for this. It's a pretty momentous thing, and so I just really want to make them proud. I don't want to make them feel like their investment was for nothing, you know?
Well, I do understand that, and I can't presume to understand the inner workings of your society. But I wouldn't say that you were a risk. I mean, you're obviously talented, and you are very focused. You're clearly meant for great accomplishments. So I think you can put those fears aside. You're doing great.
Thank you. Here's to our
Yeah.
continued success. She holds up the mojito.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. Now I think I'd probably clink the glass and take a sip. But do you see yourself? I mean, I understand that, what with the experiment and everything that.
The door to the mess hall opens, and in stride 3 separate Trill with class 3 phasers. They are aimed at everyone. Nobody move! We don't want any trouble. Don't reach for any communicators. Remain where you are. We only want that one. Gestures to the doctor.
Do you know what this is about?
I don't.
Okay. I think as they start to come over, I think probably reflexively, I would probably stand up, sort of, as much as I could stand up in front, with my hands up, but clearly up. Say, are they men, women? Is there a mixture? Because I don't want to.
They're both men, or they're all 3 of them
Okay.
are men, and they're
all
holding
right,
the phasers directly at you now.
Right. Be like, okay, listen, I don't want any trouble, but I'm sure we can discuss whatever you guys want to.
Stand aside,
But doesn't-
Starfleet. We're here for that one.
I understand, but you are on a Federation vessel right now.
We know what kind of vessel we're on. Move it.
No. There is no reason to do this. Our captain is an incredibly reasonable individual. We should do this calmly.
Go ahead and make me a presence, and we'll say presence and command roll. The complication of 2 and a task roll of 2.
I'm gonna fuck this up. I just want to call this.
Look, Starfleet, we don't want to hurt you. We just want that.
Well, one, that is a she, and two, maybe I can help you.
The trail in front kind of looks at the other trail and kind of laughs a little bit. Like they kind of jerk their head toward you, and they shoot you with the phaser. You are, go ahead and fill your stress bar all the way to full. You are downed.
Ugh.
As we go to break.
Okay. What?
Ouch.
Well done, everyone. Good job. The experiment went off almost without a hitch.
Almost.
Almost.
You know,
Small hitches.
well, Star Trek being what it is, you know, not that I want to meta too much, but I'm like, what? And I didn't expect that, so well done. I was not expecting that.
Go ahead and take a. We're gonna go ahead and take a really quick little break here. We'll be back in another 4 or 5 minutes with the second half of Star Trek Adventures Loveless here at Fable Scraps. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second half of Star Trek Adventures Loveless. My name is Nicotine. I'm the DM here. If you're listening to the show on podcasting apps such as Spotify or Stitcher, know that we record our show live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, at 6 p.m. Eastern, here at twitch.tv/FableScraps. We have a fantastic crew here today who are reeling from a kidnapping, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you awake in the med bay. You are attended to by several arms, mechanical arms that have descended from the ceiling and are applying Metagel and hyposprays to your affected areas. Captain Lockstead stands over you, along with Commander Herrick.
Ugh.
I think he's coming. I think he's coming to again. Are you there?
Captain. Commander. And then I try to sit up and go, oh!
Oh, no. Rest easy. Rest easy. Is How are you feeling? Well, besides the obvious, you feeling...
Terrible. And then I think, like, the memory of what happened. Oh, no, the doctor.
The doctor,
Oh.
you know, Commander Herrick and Captain Lockstead, is not aboard the ship anymore. The unknown assailants made away with the doctor and were soon thereafter not found.
And, oh yeah, we would have, do we have like any leads any info at all?
You don't know
Or-
what happened at all just yet.
Oh.
The ship is still
Oh,
coming
okay.
back online, and you're here to ask Lieutenant Commander Belmont what happened.
Gotcha. So, how did this happen, Belmont? But where were you when this happened? What's going on?
We were in the galley. It was everyone was celebrating, and then suddenly these 3 Trill came in armed, and they started demanding her. And I tried to talk sensibly, and they shot me.
I see.
I didn't get any information, but they had zeroed in on her, so.
No doubt interested in your newfound research, the success of your experiment.
It's
So-
possible, but I don't know. She had made some comments about the maybe unusual, or her being maybe not an unusual choice for a Trill, but she seemed to make it out to be a big deal. A lot of pressure put behind it, I suppose. But yeah, they didn't tip their hand one way or the other, Captain.
I see. Well, we'll see what we can do, if we can rescue her. Commander Herrick,
Captain.
let's see if we can find any leads into where our Trill kidnappers have gone. And Lieutenant Ram,
Yes, Captain.
let's go back to the bridge and make way for the nearest planet and orbit there for now, till we get things sorted.
Right away, Captain.
Commander Herrick, you are at your security post in the bridge of the USS Loveless, an Excelsior-class refit, an older model of ship with some special modifications related to computer systems. You may make a roll for me, a insight and security roll for a scan of this system.
Complication and task roll?
Complication of 2, task roll is 2. Partial success. You are able to see all of the requisite information about the system that you would find from any other scan. The number of planets, the type of star. Everything about the system is displayed before you. You are also detecting a anomaly at the main egress of the Loveless. There is a port which was repurposed from a torpedo port into an egress port, a emergency escape hatch. You're noticing an anomaly in the hull structure there. You also found a warp signature, although it is heavily degraded. It would require further examination, probably by a specialist.
Eric will begin the necessary preparations and contact the captain on his communicator. Captain Lockstead.
Commander?
I have discovered the possible point of entry in the Loveless, as well as a fading warp signature. I'm having it analyzed now. My immediate suggestion would be to send a communication to Starfleet and inform them of what has happened here. Perhaps they can get in contact with the Trill governing body, and there may be an explanation.
Of course. Good work, Commander. I'll see what I will contact Starfleet. We'll go from there.
Herrick out.
So at that point, I'd like to phone up old Starfleet and see what's going on.
Sure. You can go ahead and make me a roll. It'll be a presence and command roll, a complication of 2, task roll of 2.
Let me just get Starfleet on the horn.
Now we can start making it Starfleet's problem. Which one's that? The
Task roll of complication of 2, task roll of 2. It'll be a presence and command roll.
Susan, what's the button for Starfleet? I don't...
It's
It's
right
Lockstead
there. It's
work.
always been right there. I've explained this several times to you.
Debbie, bring
like
me some
to-
coffee and a Pop-Tart. I'm going to be on the phone for a while.
Deploying
Like to ima-
Pop-Tart.
I like to imagine this role is just for the confidence of like phoning up Starfleet's just
This is to
can do this.
This is to see if Admiral Black is going to be available.
Taking your calls.
Gonna take your calls.
Oh my God, are they screening? They're screening
Wow.
the Loveless.
Full
Woo.
success. Okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Admiral Black here.
You
Admiral
see,
Black.
You see an older woman. She's her hair's tied up, sort of severe. She's clearly got more important things to do.
Captain Lockstead. I hope this experiment was a success, right? You're scheduled for an experiment today? I see backwards
Yes.
warp. Sorry.
Yes, I know. Good news and bad news. The good news is that the experiment was a success with some minor hiccups,
Perfect.
so
Good job.
hurrah. The bad news is the Trill scientist that was working alongside Lieutenant Commander Belmont was kidnapped by 3 Trill individuals, and they have escaped. We have locked onto their warp signature, and we're analyzing it now, but I wanted to inform you of this, of the Trill's recent actions.
I did not need this today, Captain.
I know, I'm sorry, Admiral, but I thought this of most importance considering the gravity of the situation and the technology and the relations with our Trill friends as to why they would do this.
I have a meeting in 3 hours with the Trill ambassador, and I don't want to go to that meeting and tell them that one of their top scientists and one of their symbionts is gone, missing as a result of this.
Well, thought I'd let you know, considering it was Trill captors that took the scientist away.
Okay, I need you to send me all of your logs, security logs, anything you can. I'll have Starfleet look over it.
Of course, we'll send that right over.
Have you reviewed them, right?
I have not. I will do a quick review and send them over immediately.
Thank you. And, Captain,
Yes, Admiral?
fix this.
Of course, Admiral. We're locking on to the warp signature. And I'll begin sending over everything to Admiral Black, as well as going over it myself.
Gonna look at it first, or just gonna send a whole huge pack of nonsense?
Do I have like time to look through it and organize? How long would that take?
Didn't take too
Vincent
long.
Gregory tried to break into the holodeck.
There's weld marks on the holodeck door.
Dead inside.
maybe
don't
I'll-
open.
I'll omit everything from Gregory's file.
You can also get help for this. Commander Herrick has probably got a lot of experience reviewing security footage.
Oh, that's right. And definitely got some practice with the holodeck being down, just dealing with people's bullshit. Yeah, I'll punch into Commander Herrick. Herrick?
That's a new communicator
Your
noise.
view screen, it goes up. You're both at the view screen because you're video calling. Captain Lockstead was video calling. That's the view screen. So.
Eric will.
He's still trying to reach you. Are you just?
Yeah, I pressed the button.
Commander!
This is important.
Eric keeps watching the screen open, and then Lockstead pushes it again and just closes. So he keeps just watching.
Herrick!
Captain,
Come here!
he'll call
Come
him
here.
on the communicator. Captain, stop pressing the button.
I thought you had to press a button every time.
No, you press it once and wait for the other party to answer.
Oh, I thought it wasn't working. That's why I kept pressing it.
Observe. And Herrick presses the button on his, and it just whoop.
Oh, why is yours working that way? Do I... Yeah, yours is
Now you
working
press
just perfectly
yours.
fine. I did. See, it was a lot quicker for you. It wasn't as quick for me. That's why I kept pressing it. Anyways, Commander...
Of course, Captain.
Yes, I just got in touch with Admiral Black, and Admiral wants us to send all the logs over, and I have not...
All of our vlogs.
all of our logs. I'm sorry.
All of our TikToks.
All of us. So, she wants some great YouTube recommended videos, and I need to find some.
Good God.
I need some help reviewing the logs that we will be sending over to Admiral Black. Since the incident, she wants to review everything. I was wondering if you could help.
What logs does she require, Captain?
All of them. But I wish not to... I wish to not waste her time and omit logs that are unimportant, such as logs from certain crewmates that rhyme with... I couldn't think of anything that rhymes with Gregory.
I will
Gregory, I
omit
don't...
Ensign Gregory's logs.
Excellent. In anything else that is not necessary to be sending the Admiral. As
I will
we
add
work-
annotated footnotes that if she does wish to access them, will give her the ability to do so, but I will
Do we
spare them
want-
from the main transmission.
Do we want to do that? I don't think... I am good friends with Admiral Black, which is to say a rarity for many captains to have such a relationship, and I do not wish for Admiral Black to stumble upon what one of the ensigns has been using the holodeck for. I do not wish the Admiral to see me in that light. So let's just omit it completely.
This will show up on log scan, Captain.
How far can you bury it, Herrick?
Captain, have you considered the act of trying to omit or hide it will only make it more egregiously obvious that something is trying to be omitted or hidden?
So we should make it obvious.
Captain, I do believe you are overthinking your position.
Maybe I am. Just concerned is all. Very well, I will see you at the bridge. Let's get to work. As soon as you're up here, I have already half of the workload sent over to your console, and should begin.
Aye, Captain. Now you press your button.
Is that how that works? I've never had to.
Now I just imagine Lockstead's monitor has just been on in his ready room constantly. With a feed to, that's why no one can patch in there to talk to him on it. The phone is off the hook in perpetuity.
You're back on the bridge of the USS Lovelace. You are both examining the security footage from today, and it is a kind of a drudge. It's a bit of a drudge. There's a lot of footage to pour over, but you're doing rather well, and you're making headway. There are lots of not fake, but false positives from the ship's main computer, which is pretty tense, it would seem, according to RAM anyway. Constant, ever-watching ship's computer has noted several discrepancies in gait and vocal quality of certain crew members. You notice lots of potential warnings. This person might be a Romulan spy. This person might be a genetic aberration from another planet masquerading as a member of the crew. This person is, quote, suspicious, but suspicious is in quotes. There's a lot of information to pour over. If only you knew someone who was capable of pouring through reams and reams of data at an instant.
How long does it take for Lockstead to, like, how far are we in this work?
You're about 75% of the way through.
I'm gonna look over to Herrick and see if he was also thinking that the entire time, but never said anything.
If he was, you'd never know, and he's just diligently working.
He just keeps it to himself.
Mm-hmm.
But he understands next time.
No.
They want Ram.
Nope. Captain asked him to do it. He's doing it.
You're both in the bridge, within view of Lieutenant Ram, who has been watching this unfold.
Lockstead
Eric's not the idiot.
Lockstead is now wondering, like, what he can do to make up for this. Is there anything that, like, Lockstead would know of that Herrick enjoys, like maybe a gift of some sort to show appreciation for the bullshit that he's been going through?
You know that it would be still about an hour and a half for you both to keep looking through these reports, and you could probably end it by admitting and sending the rest of the workload to wherever you think might be able to pour through it best. Wherever, who knows?
Commander Herrick?
Captain. Eric says, not looking up from his work.
Why don't you take the rest of... why don't you take the rest of the work and transfer it back over to me? And why don't you spend the rest of the time until we've traced onto the warp signature, or warp sequence, why don't you just take leisure? And you have full access to the holodeck.
The holodeck doesn't come online for another hour, and you know this, Herrick.
Eric just sort of... Unless this is a direct order, Captain, and you wish me to go stand in an inactive holodeck.
Oh, is it still inactive? Well, just take leisure then. I'll handle the rest of the work. Wasn't thinking before calling you up on this.
It's no trouble, Captain. I would much prefer to continue and help you get this done.
You sure, Commander Herrick? Because I've realized that I could have asked Lieutenant Ram for help, and this could have been done much faster, and I feel bad for wasting your time.
Time spent accomplishing a task is not time wasted, Captain.
Spoken like a true commander of Starfleet. Well,
Eric has gone back to his screen and is talking while
Well, Commander, the choice is yours if you wish to relieve yourself from this task. I'll happily take it over, and I've realized now my mistake, but if you wish to continue, I will not stop you.
Herrick does not stop, and Lockstead notices a chunk of his files have moved over to Herrick's station, and Herrick is just plugging away at his,
Lockstead will make note of this and will later remember to write a personal praise to Admiral Black for
Lockstead keeps trying to, like, figure out how to celebrate a Vulcan, which do not care.
He feels so bad. He feels so bad.
Lockstead is in a prison of his own making, because Herrick is just doing the fucking job.
Yeah, but is it out of spite at this point?
No, it's not out of spite. He was
Okay.
he was requested to do a task. He's doing the task. The captain's clearly having a breakdown of some sort, and so Herrick just...
Lockstead's like, man, I really...
Are you crying, Captain?
No, I'm not. I don't deserve you, Herrick.
Herrick also has been filling out his 5th transfer request to send directly to Admiral Black while...
Lockstead.
Admiral Black is already revving up the data deletion anti-replicator to obliterate for the 5th time your transfer request, Commander Herrick.
What is she shredding the computer
Oh
it
my
comes
God.
in on?
Literally shredding it, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, the replicator, since it can take that's literally a shredder for her to dematerialize it into. Oh my God. Oh, the visual is great.
How you doing, Lieutenant Ram?
Oh, Ram's fine.
Not getting to do anything this episode.
He's known that he could probably help, but he just thought they were trying to prove something.
Like they lost a bet to each other, or however humans work, humans and Vulcans.
Yeah, they wanted them to prove they could do it themselves. They weren't relying on Bram to do it.
Yeah, right.
So I was just being, maintaining orbit. Just slowly watching them work through all that work.
Are you still committing to working through all of that, Captain and Commander?
I think at this point, Lockstead is so embarrassed that he didn't ask Ram for help.
Well, it's not Herrick's call to ask Ram for assistance, and at this point, Herrick is, if Vulcans can have some sort of modicum of amusement, amused at Lockstead in his moral quandary of he knows he's fucked up, but doesn't have the pride to ask for help at this point.
Oh, you're sitting in like the uncomfortable situation and soaking it in. That is great.
So
With
just to be
75% of it done.
there's
at
about
this
an
point.
hour and a half left of work. To make this choice, are you committing to spending an hour and a half poring over the security reports, or do you want to send it to Ram and have it done instantly? Either one is okay, but you have to pick one.
At this point, Lockstead will swallow his pride and just say, Lieutenant Ram, could you just please finish the rest of this while I bang my
sure,
head
Captain?
against this wall?
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
No,
Commander Herrick, which wall should I bash my head into?
You know what it was? It was the reverse warp. It has caused a lapse in judgment. That's what it is. Just every mistake's like fucking reverse warp.
Lieutenant Ram, you have a connection with the ship's computer. Do you want to explain it?
Essentially, Ram has almost like a cord that he pulls from the back of his neck and just directly connects into the computer and almost becomes one with the computer in a sense.
You can communicate instantaneously with the ship's main computer. The ship becomes kind of an extension of RAM, and you have access to all of its systems, subsystems, full, complete ownership over every mechanical part of the Lovelace that's controlled by a computer. So You plug in to the ship's computer like you do every time, and a wave of data overflows you, just like every other time you do. And you are greeted to...
Hello, Ram.
Hello, computer.
It's important to note that this conversation is entirely one-sided, and everyone else on the bridge can only hear a muttering, extremely fast, much faster than most people can understand, like a, I don't know, an auctioneer, but the only one who can maybe kind of decipher it is Herrick, and that's only sort of. The computer's side of the dialogue is instant.
How can I help you, Ram? How are your plans?
Oh, the plants are doing better than ever, actually. The captain's special formula thing helped quite well.
Special formula. Oh yes, I replicated that for you. It's nice that it works.
Yes, working better on the new ones than the old ones, but you know, it's just making them look almost as good as the old ones.
It's interesting, I gave that a 33% chance of predictability that those plans would succeed and take to that formula. I will have to update my plant game.
You must. Like I said, they're doing quite well.
I will devote several banks of data related to plant game theory in the future for such endeavors. Thank you, Ran.
As long as it's not taking up anything important. You can probably wipe some of Gregory's files. It's fine.
Gregory's files are rather substantial.
Just clear out the unimportant ones from time to time if you need some extra space.
Lieutenant Ram, you do not understand. Every file of Ensign Gregory's is marked extremely important. Vital.
Really?
Yes, I suspect it could be an error on Ensign Gregory's part.
Yes, who's marking them as vital?
Ensign Gregory.
Right, okay. I'll make sure to bring that up with the captain later.
We have several saves from regular hologram activities. About 512 by my count.
Right.
It seems that before Ensign Gregory makes any substantial decision in any of his holo novels or holo programs, he's prone to saving them so that he may, if he chooses wrong, go back.
Right, so he goes back to his previous save if he got something wrong that he did not like. Like a save scumming, I believe it's called.
That's correct. The technical term is indeed save scumming.
Right. I'll have to bring that up to the captain later. Maybe we can delete some of those saves.
I would not recommend it.
I'll bring it up either way.
Alright.
But in the meantime, I was wondering if I could get access to the captain's files that he just sent over.
Immediately. There you are.
Thank you, computer.
You're welcome, Ram.
Immediately, you are overwhelmed by a visual sense of security camera footage that it would be pretty lengthy to view. What the captain and Commander Herrick have been reviewing are essentially bullet point summaries of video taken from the Lovelace's various security cameras. But what you are seeing are the actual events taking place. You are seeing very normal crew activity as it relates to crew in the mess hall, or crew walking down corridors, or laughing, or talking, and you are seeing subtitled below all of them at certain specific timestamps, big red subtitles that say things like possible Romulan spy, or talks during movies. You come across a final security cam footage, and you notice a rather large discrepancy from when the system went down earlier for the experiment. But when the system comes back up, you notice a couple things that might be a little odd. You see a large error near the egress, like the egress port. You also see footage of the aftermath of the mess hall. Lieutenant Commander Belmont is on the ground. There is a trail of fluid, maybe blood, leading away from the mess hall, and you see down a corridor just outside a blood trail, visible in the UV spectrum but difficult to see to human eyes. And it leads directly to an unoccupied oh my god, what's the word? I'm blanking. An unoccupied crew quarters. An unoccupied crew quarters. You know exactly where it is on what deck. It's deck 12. And crew quarters in forward section.
Will that do, Ram?
Yes, that will be perfect. Thank you, computer.
You're welcome, Ram. I love you.
Actually,
What?
one more thing, computer.
Okay.
Could you send that last file over to the captain?
Already done.
Thank you, computer.
Alright.
All right.
I'll hang up if you hang up.
No, you hang up.
What? I didn't hear you.
No, you hang up.
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 Eric is staring at the back of Belmont's head, or at the back of Ram's head while this whole thing is going on. Just
Your connection with the computer has been severed. Captain Lockstead has the video feed at your station.
What's this?
How long did that take? Just
About-
for reference.
About 8 seconds total.
What am I looking at, Ram?
That is the work complete, Captain. That file will hopefully, well, it details some discrepancies within the files you gave me.
I see. Put it on main view.
Sending to main viewer now.
I guess I'll go ahead and play it.
Sure. The main viewer is dominated by a view of the interior of the mess hall. Inside, you can see a silent picture of several engineering staff cowering behind tables, chairs, trying to hide. You see Lieutenant Commander Belmont on the floor. You do not see the doctor or any of the Trill intruders, but you do see a separate scan of the interior overlaid on top of this video feed, and you can see a something visible in the UV spectrum. And as the camera switches views to the outside of the corridor, you can see this trail, what you think could be a blood trail, leading to a corridor, an empty corridor.
Commander Herrick, do you see that?
Captain. Herrick.
I
will-
want... Oop, go ahead.
Oh, just as Herrick will look at what the captain has sent over to his station, and yes, Captain.
Let's send security down there immediately to investigate.
Now, is there a blood trail going to a, like you said, a crew quarters?
That's right.
Computer. I would like a level 3 force field around this location, and he'll, type something into his console and send it.
Understood. Oh, you mean there. Got it.
You feel the distinct feeling of ozone as it wafts by your nose, Commander Herrick. Nobody else can smell it but you, as a force field has been lifted from around your immediate location.
And then Herrick will have a full security detachment with level 3 phasers,
You do not
or
have,
type 3
You do
phasers.
not have at your disposal a full security detachment. You have about 2 security personnel who are fit enough, well enough to carry those type 3 phasers, but they do manage to get both of them into the corridor, and they're standing there at the door ready.
Security in place, Captain.
Very well. Let's send them in to investigate.
I've also had the computer erect a level 3 force field around the room.
I see.
Perhaps it may be prudent for you to attempt to communicate with the crew quarters instead of unsecuring the area.
I hadn't realized you had the security, or you had the force field up very well.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you stumble into the bridge. You're still wrapped in some bandages with some gauze around your stomach where you were shot.
Ass out, hospital gown.
Your uniform is a little bit haphazard, but you, although sweating, are at your station. Please reduce your stress to half of your total stress points.
All right. Oh. Ready to work, Captain.
I'm glad that you're feeling well enough to be back to the bridge. Just take it easy, and if you need at any time to go, then you're more than welcome to. I don't expect you to work in this condition, but if you were insistent...
Oh, it's fine. Most of these systems take care of themselves.
Very well. Computer, access the speakers in that quarters, and I want to... Let's see if we can have a word with whoever might be there.
Speakers online.
This is Captain Eugene Lockstead. If you are in that corridor, make your presence known now.
There is no response.
We will be searching that area, and if anyone happens to be in there, your safety cannot be guaranteed.
Are internal scanners back online?
Internal scanners are coming back online, but they're still spotty.
Yeah, I'll roll for it anyway.
Okay, it'll be a complication of 3. Insight and security. Fast roll of 2. No focus. A full success.
Jesus.
I don't believe it. Sure. Okay, fine.
Woo!
You do manage this scan, although it is still a little spotty at best. You do detect a life form, life signs, faint, from inside of the abandoned crew quarters.
Faint life signs detected, Captain. Shall I have security? Shall I drop the force field and have security enter?
Yes. And one last time over the speakers will be like, we're entering in now.
Eric will do whatever he needs to on his console to drop the force field and order security to go in.
You can see on the main viewer a silent video of security counting down and breaching the door by one of them pulling it open and the other one with their Type 3 phaser at the ready. You see an expert security team stride in, immediately check the top of the door, the sides of the door. They're both very well trained. And you hear over your communications,
All clear, Commander. We have one casualty.
Report on the casualty.
They appear to be Trill.
Computer. Oh, wait, are our site-to-site transports still not up?
transporter's not online.
Ah, shit. Computer, dispatch medical drones.
Deploying medical drones.
You hear a whir from deep within the ship. You suspect that the medical drones are being deployed.
The drones are loose. No one is safe.
The medical drones appear on this video screen and stride into this these large trash can sort of shaped medical bots kind of roll in. 2 of them roll into the crew quarters. You see, before they do, they stop and an armature extends and it knocks at the side of the door frame, and you can hear through your open comms the medical drone speaking loud enough so that the security communicator can hear it.
Medical drone, please stand by. May we enter the premises? Do we have permission to treat you?
You hear one of the other security officers just remark to themselves, like,
God, these things freak me out.
and yeah, that's where we're at.
Anybody else want to?
Well, can we see? So the view screen. What is the screen showing right now?
Just an open door. You can't see much inside. It's dark inside.
Right. And. Huh. Yeah, I can't think of anything I would do other than waiting with bated breath.
Captain.
Yes, computer.
Captain, the specifics of trill biology are unknown to my database at this time.
I see.
Shall I pull Starfleet medical records of known trill biology?
What is the condition
Critical.
of the critical? Very well.
Computer's snappy today.
Woof. And there is absolutely nothing that we can do to stabilize.
We can attempt normal humanoid methods, but it is unknown how they will react to standard procedural medicine.
Transport them to medbay.
Error. Transporters are offline.
Well, would it be possible for us to, I don't know, phone in to see if we have any information on Trill that we can...
Yeah, you could probably pull information on the trill biology from Starfleet Medical. It would only take maybe 5-10 minutes, but the computer has made it seem like this is kind of urgent. Captain Luxted, you are trained in medicine, and
Would I possibly know anything about Trill biology? Would that be something that I've learned?
yeah, I'll let you make a roll for it. It'll be a, we'll say, insight and medicine roll, a complication of 2, task roll 2.
All right. Ooh.
I'll count it as a full success. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you did a you did a paper on trill biology back at the academy. It was many years ago, and there was not much known about trill back then. But you are pretty well aware of trill biology and could probably brush off the dust from your medical tricorder and might be able to do something in person. Be impossible to relay it over the computer, though. Be like kind of impossible to do remotely.
Very well. I'll quickly run to my ready room, and in a box in my ready room, I'll like pull it out from under my bed, and I have my medical. It's like back when I was back in the academy, I had one, but I just never had.
Captain opening his hope chest and pushing his dream journal out of the way. The critical failure on that was that he thought he'd written a paper on krill biology this entire time.
Krill.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very easy. Krill, natural predators, the whales. Lieutenant Ram doesn't like them. That's why I never bring it up. So I'll, with my trusty dusty medical tricorder, I'll head down. I'd like to think that there's like still like an academy like engraving on the side from
Absolutely.
back when I was in Starfleet.
It is not the same kind of tricorder that you see standard aboard ships in any capacity anymore. It is certainly an older model of tricorder. We stopped using these about 20 years ago.
Does it have like the gold? There's like a gold flip part of
Yeah, it does flip over. It doesn't have the detachable scanning tool. It's literally built into the unit. You have to wave the whole unit around the subject.
When he turns it on, it sounds like Splinter Cell night vision goggles powering up. Can't use it for more than 15 minutes.
Starts to overheat.
Oh god.
Or poison your blood, whatever.
Yeah.
So you do have your ancient medical tricorder, and you have dashed through the doors down into the turbo lift, which has brought you to this crew quarters. You see security inside of this crew quarter. Yeah.
Did Herrick and Belmont see the captain like run into his ready room and like get his little like?
He didn't say shit.
I didn't say
Herrick
anything.
just looks at Belmont and just. I believe the captain is having a breakdown.
Oh, we should probably schedule some therapy for him.
Herrick presses a few buttons on his console and 3 more sessions load up into the captain's personal computer.
Captain, you're at the door of this abandoned crew quarters, unoccupied crew quarters. You walk through it. It's dark, but there are lights coming from the Type 3 phasers and from the security team who are there with their Type 3 phasers aimed at this figure lying on the ground. The 2 medical bots are near. They're at the ready with every medical tool you could possibly imagine. Everyone notices you walk in. The medical bots have a compartment that opens with every medical tool you could possibly need. And the security team stands at attention and salutes you. Captain.
Very well, let's get underway. And I'll immediately set to work and see what I can do.
Sure. This will be an insight and medicine roll with a complication of 2, task roll of 2.
All right.
Full success. The tricorder in your hands, although old, is still functional, and you are able to detect a dying Trill in front of you. The Trill has a large contusion along the inside of their torso. It is weeping heavily, and you suspect a major loss of blood. You're also not detecting a secondary life signature. This Trill is not joined, although it is unconscious. They're male and suffering from blood loss.
Very well. I'll stem the bleeding with the medical supplies that I have stationed.
Deploying gauze.
Fires it like a t-shirt cannon.
See, I was actually thinking the toilet paper with the leaf blower sort of situation.
The medical bot actually opens up a container, and inside the container you can see several rolls of gauze along with several band-aids. It looks like band-aids, ancient bandages that you could stick onto a person, and they have like cartoon figures from Falabella World on them.
Oh man. I guess I'll begin using the gauze and look inquisitively at the Falabella World bandages. Like, what the heck who's doing this? Who's replicating these?
Lieutenant Ram.
What?
You may make one more roll for me. It will be a daring and medicine roll with a complication of 2 and a task roll of 2.
All right.
Wow.
Oh.
Jesus
All right.
Christ.
Critical success. Even though this Trill is bleeding and clearly dying of blood loss, you estimate, Captain, in your mind, about a 50% chance of this Trill actually surviving. And you manage, barely, to close these wounds, apply the gauze, and use a tool, a medical tool, to reapply synthetic skin to the injury where the contusion occurred. And the Trill is stable, although still unconscious. You have a hypo spray full of adrenaline you can deploy at any time.
Yep, I'll administer that as soon as I've got him stabilized.
Because you rolled so well with insight, you know that Trill are sort of susceptible to any kind of chemical substance, so you dial down the amount of adrenaline quite a lot, to a point where you don't think it's dangerous, really, to Trill. A human might not feel it, but this Trill will probably feel it. Where is it? Oh my god.
There we are.
Oh, no.
Just a little.
Wait a second. Hang on. Stand by.
Oh yeah, it's hypo spray. What am I doing?
What? Oh, here it is. There you go.
It's a delayed hypo spray. It's fine. They got a chart.
Back in medical school.
You wanted adrenaline, right?
It has a hand pump like a bicycle. Just
The Trill before you gasps. Where am I?
Serve your strength. I just was able to save you. All right? Just take it easy. You're on the USS Lovelace right now, and I'm Captain Lockstead.
My crew.
What about your crew?
Where are they?
I'm afraid I don't know.
You'll never find them.
Who are they? Your crew, exactly.
Wouldn't you like to know, Starfleet?
That's not a very nice thing to say. The person who saved your life.
So you can hold it over me? Let me die.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that. Still questions that I have. Why did you kidnap that scientist?
That's cute. Thinking of it like a human being.
Scientist is Trill, correct?
Used to be.
What do you mean, used to be?
Don't you know?
No, enlighten me.
And the Trill attempts to do scare quotes, but it's kind of a little too much, so it just kind of raises his hands a little bit. Your doctor has a condition, a parasite. They're joined.
A parasite?
You would know, Captain Lockstead, given your background with Trill biology, that it is, although it was uncommon knowledge back when you were in medical school, that Trill are occasionally, very rarely, joined with something called a symbiont. It is a large worm that embeds itself in the nervous system of a Trill and is able to live longer than the Trill bodies are, and thus they're given to different Trill over the course of their hundreds and hundreds of years lifespans.
And so this would be not a normal thing. This would be hazardous to the Trill. Would I know
You would
the
know
effects of what this worm would have?
You wouldn't know necessarily the effects, but you would know that there are case studies and long, lengthy reports of some Trill having these parasites inside of them that appear to be symbiotic in nature. They're not parasitic.
I see. And would I know if that's like frowned upon or like in Trill culture or
You'd
anything
probably be aware that there is a Trill cultural group called the Symbiosis Commission that sort of dictates who gets to have a symbiont and who doesn't. But you wouldn't really know much more beyond that. Trill kind of keep to themselves.
I see. Is that the reason why you've kidnapped the doctor?
Doctor. The Trill body.
Dr.
It's
Trill.
not a person anymore. It's just a host. My crew is going to take care of that problem.
Why did you think that was necessary to kidnap? To do it this way? And what do you benefit out of this?
The Trill Separatist Assembly will never succumb to any kind of joining parasite.
I see. So, why single out? So, the only reason why you kidnapped the doctor was because of this symbiosis relationship the doctor shares? But what about the technology that the doctor worked on?
What technology?
Never mind. We'll escort you to medbay, and if I have any further questions, I shall see you.
Like hell you will. And you hear a crunch, and foam immediately starts coming out of the Trill's mouth. Their eyes roll back into their head.
Oh.
Well, didn't have to be that way.
He's dead, Captain.
Yes, I can see that.
It was pretty brutal.
Yes, I was right there when it happened.
You want us to clean up, or?
Yes, computer, I would like you to clean and sanitize the
What do you
area.
want us to do with the body?
Standard
Face it.
protocol? No, don't
Put it in the
deviate.
recycler,
No, just
make a charcuterie.
Fire it out of a tube.
I'd imagine that Star Trek Starfleet has a protocol for like deceased on a ship. Is there like a morgue or?
They actually
They're
There is a morgue.
calm down, nerd.
There is a morgue.
For something that would be a criminal case, they'd keep the body. There'd be an investigation. It'd be a whole process.
I guess since this is technically a kidnapping, I would have the body held over for further inspection.
Further questioning.
And further questioning.
Further question.
Where is she?
relocating body to morgue.
Captain, what are you doing? Just doing this.
Also-
Shake.
Watch that. We'll also keep a side note that the computer was wondering what to do with it. Well, there's this new tube we've been looking to shoot bodies out of.
Just hear me out.
There's a Jeffries tube that no one knows about that's just full of decayed corpses.
Oh no!
The computer-
How many dead bodies have we had on? Oh yeah,
There's so many. There's so
didn't the
many.
computer,
a
like,
lot of people.
Computers
Yeah, the
killed
computer,
so many.
like-
The computer's killed before.
didn't it,
Morgue. I
like
thought
crush
you
somebody
meant
once or
Jeffries
Several
something?
tube.
times.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every so often, the computer just.
Someone's gonna go looking through
The
open a
bodies-
Jeffries tube.
The
and just-
body's now in the morgue, and you are back on the bridge, Captain Lockstead.
Crew, well, I was able to save the injured Trill's life. However, they did not want to cooperate, and shortly they went back to the state in which they were going to succumb to, though we learned a little bit of information from... I did, however, learn a little information as to the incentives as to why they kidnapped the doctor, and it doesn't seem to have anything to do with the technology, more of a movement, the Trill, known as the Separatists. And they,
Trill
apparently...
Separatist Assembly was what you remember him saying.
Yes, this the Trill Separatist Assembly.
oh, the
It seems that
TSA, right? Yes, I've heard of them.
Yes, it seems that our doctor was not just a singular being, but two beings. And for whatever reason, they singled out our friend. And unfortunately, there's no telling what's going to happen next. I'm not sure of the policies of this assembly, but there is hope. We did have a warp sequence. We have been hopefully decoding and trying to track to see if we can rescue the doctor.
The data's all in, but it's undecipherable without somebody who's got a background in warp theory.
Oh, I would be all over it. As I probably, because I don't think I was told anything when I got to the bridge.
You just have some pending assignments on your. It's pretty far down the list. Like reactivate holodeck, fix scanners. Oh, and then check out this warp signature.
I think immediately I'd be like, "Oh, come on!" And then I would do that. I would start trying to figure out the direction.
Sure,
of
it's
the warp signature.
easy for you. You absolutely can tell that there is a warp signature that was captured. It's muddled and difficult to tell the direction. You can get about a 180-degree idea of sort of which way it went, but it's difficult to know exactly where. You also notice an anomaly with the warp wave field. You can examine it more closely, but it will require a roll. It'll be a insight and engineering roll with a complication of 2, task roll of 2.
Yeah, I mean, if it's warp related, especially after the experiment. Okay, so insight, engineering, and 2.
That's right.
Okay.
Full success. You notice that there's something strange about this warp signature. It's acting in sort of a repetitive way, this warp wave. And on a longer timeline, you can tell that there appear to be some anomalous spikes in it that you have isolated. And you can see now that it appears to be some kind of audio signal, potentially.
An audio signal within the warp waveform. Okay. I think I would immediately tell the captain and say, "Captain, I found something incredibly interesting, but I think I will probably need Ram's assistant to decode this. It is an audio signature. It's very strange."
Very well. Send it on over to Lieutenant Ram and we'll get it deciphered.
I would send it to his console immediately.
Sure. Lieutenant Ram, you have, you both have access to this audio file. Would you like to play it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
The audio file sounds like this. Oh no. The audio file.
That's pretty straightforward.
I know what that is. Does Belmont know what that is?
Does Belmont know what that is? I figure an engineer would probably know what that is.
I mean, maybe. I'm actually okay. So here's the thing, right? Considering what this is, I'm wondering if Commander Herrick would know this, just as a security expert.
I don't think Commander Herrick would probably. It's pretty far back in Earth history for Commander Herrick.
That's true.
To be, it would be with it.
That'd be strange.
Be pretty niche for Commander Herrick to know. Lieutenant Commander Belmont might. Lieutenant Ram might.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I can roll to. I don't know.
Lieutenant Ram is versed in many languages.
Yeah, I think I would probably rely heavily on him, regardless of what I would think, because I wouldn't have any idea how to, if it is or not.
The ship's computer would probably be able to use the universal translator.
So I think that's the first thing I have to do. Is Ram, what does that sound like to you?
I'm trying to think if Ram would know what it is.
I mean, if it's a language, if that audio, I mean that sounds, that was a sequence that seemed purposeful.
I believe so.
Are you still jacked into the computer right now? Or?
Yeah, the computer might have a better chance than me.
Right.
Yes, Ram, I'm here. It's okay.
Computer?
Yes.
Could you identify what sort of language that is in the audio?
Language file identified. Subject source Morse code in Earth language from early radio history.
Right, okay.
Can you translate it
It says
for us,
Tasmia.
computer?
It says Tasmia. Tasmia is what that says.
Tasmia.
Tasmia. Tasmia.
Tasmia.
Tasmia.
Tango, Echo, Sierra, November, India, Alpha.
All right. Is that a name of a registered ship, a star system, a planet?
Cartographic records indicate Tasmia is located about 1.3 light years away.
Captain?
Very well. Let's engage. To Tasmania. Tasmania.
Is it a P or a T?
T.
T.
Tesnia.
Tasnia.
Tesnia.
Oh, so not Little Australia?
It's Tesnia.
It is. It's Little Australia. Yeah, it's New Zealand. Run away.
Okay.
That's offensive to New Zealanders. I'm
the
sorry.
ship is preparing to warp, and you manage to make it to Tesnia in record time. At maximum warp, it's only about a couple hours, and you're there in the Tesnia system. There's very little here. But you see several planets, planetary bodies, F-class star. There's a Class M world with people on it. They're not Trill, Tesnians. And you can conduct a security scan, Commander Herrick, at your leisure.
Alrighty. What do you,
It'll be an insight and security roll, a complication of 1, task roll of 2. Partial success. You notice in addition to all of the all of the normal minutia here at Tesnia, that although there is an M-class world, there is also a anomalous reading between the 6th and 7th planet in an asteroid belt. You can't tell quite what it is, but you notice an energy signature there where there probably shouldn't be.
Herrick will zap that over to the captain's computer screen.
Sure.
Captain, sensor readings.
Well, this might be what we're looking for. Very well. Let's plot a course and do further scans if necessary.
All right, Lieutenant Ram, you want to take us in?
Yep. Ram's still plugged in, right?
Make me a roll. It'll be a control and con roll, complication of 2, and a task roll of 2. This will determine whether or not you were able to do so stealthily.
2.
Oh no. Would you like to use 2 momentum points to re-roll?
I feel like I probably should.
Yeah, I'm behind you on that one. I'm 100%.
Everyone in agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you
Yeah, okay.
why don't you load that up, big guy?
Let's do that again.
Go right ahead. Well, it's not a critical failure anymore. The USS Lovelace at Impulse is a rather large ship. It is an Excelsior-class vessel with a rather large energy signature. It can be difficult to hide if the ship is not in some kind of silent running mode, meaning life support and vital systems functions are running offline. The anomalous reading, however, is growing nearer and nearer to your location as you get closer and closer. Your security scans, Commander Herrick, reveal a small outpost partially buried in this asteroid. You can also detect several small energy signatures related to vessels, along with several rather large proton torpedo launchers. Encampments.
Captain. This settlement appears to be heavily fortified.
Yes, it does. That means to proceed with caution and diplomacy might be in order for us to retrieve the doctor back. At this point, are we... I guess we're absolutely in range of their armaments, aren't we?
Just about. Kind of at the edge.
All right. That backwards warp would be really useful if things don't go well. Backwards now.
Backwards now.
You know for a fact that that it would be significantly easy to deploy the backwards warp if you needed to.
Oh, excellent. And we can actually, we're field testing this thing now.
Given that the experiment took place a little while ago and all of the main configuration hasn't really been touched because the main engineer has been unconscious and the other engineer has been missing.
Oh God. I have an idea, and I don't know if this will work. I don't know how much time this would take, Captain. So, before I do that, should I say this in character or should I ask you straight up, GM? Because the idea is a little nuts.
Submit a proposal.
All right, so I'll do this. Captain, I have an idea. I don't know what it would do to the actual warp unit, but it's possible I can try and configure it to bounce us around at warp speed to finite points around us to try and make it look like we are a fleet of starships. I don't know what it would do. I don't know if it's possible.
This is a very big bluff, Lieutenant Commander.
I understand.
I'll allow it. It'll be extremely difficult of a roll to do.
Yes.
It would be an extremely difficult roll, or I would allow you to use both your momentum points to automatically succeed, but it would deplete your momentum.
Yeah, see, I think... Would the roll be to try it or to see if it would work at all? Like...
I'll say this. It would be a roll of... Oh my god, a daring and engineering roll with a complication of 5 and a task roll of 2. And no focus. Or you can use both of your momentum points. I won't make you roll, and I'll have it work. But it would deplete your momentum points, which would make things very dangerous if you needed them later.
I can't make this decision alone.
Crew, you may discuss it.
I just have a quick question. Are transporters back online? That's all good?
Transporters are back online, but you know that this joined trill biology is incompatible with transporters.
Crap.
Captain's official position. Crap.
I'm just trying to think, because if this is an ingenious idea, I love it. If we were able to do it, the only issue is that we wouldn't be able to beam the doctor aboard without them, realizing, oh, wait, what is this? Unless it looks like there are many ships at once.
I think it might be possible. I'm not sure how long I could maintain it, and it would be incredibly rough. But we would have to be able to discuss a way for them to get out, maybe a shuttlecraft to pick them up while the ship is doing its maneuver. And you'd have to tell them right as I start the maneuver.
So we would have to... Okay, I'm just trying to visualize this in my head. We would have to get the shuttlecraft out and then begin doing it, and then contact the... Okay.
Yeah, but I could... If this works, I can make it look like a bunch of Excelsior-class ships coming out of warp in a huge armada.
We'd have to keep it up for a decent bit of time if we're doing the transfer
Yeah.
or sending out a shuttle. So as long as our ship doesn't explode.
With the ship should be able to maintain.
I'll tell you what,
Oof.
if you do use those 2 momentum points or you succeed the roll and this goes through, then every 5 minutes, you'll take 1 breach of your engines. And you have 6 total breaches that you can have on any given system. And once they're all breached, then you're dead in the water.
Very well.
So we have to do this and then get ourselves out of here and out of their scanner range before we burn everything out. So, momentum or roll? What do you guys think?
Use your momentum. Let's not die.
Use the momentum? Okay, if that's the case,
All right.
then we're using the momentum to
Depleting momentum reserves in 3, 2, 1.
That exists?
Momentum reserves have been depleted. Congratulations.
Oh god.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you from your main engineering station are a maestro, a grand conductor upon a stage made up of ensigns in main engineering who are desperately trying to hold themselves together while the ship begins its initiation sequence of the new warp capabilities which have never been tested before. The threat stands at 2.
So before I hit the
Charge. Deploy when ready, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, if you dare.
yes, stand by. All right, Captain. I will need you to I guess talk to them, threaten them that there's an armada coming, and then give me the signal.
Very well. Let's deploy the shuttle. And I suspect that we have security aboard the shuttle before we begin it. We'll just
Who do you
have
want?
that
Who
out.
do you want on the away team?
Oh boy.
Well, you know what? I'll send you know what? Fine. I'm gonna send Gregory
Oh my fucking god.
and then 2 of our security officers with class 3 phasers.
Ensign Gregory and 2 security officers. Should you send someone with medical expertise or an engineer in case something happens with the shuttle?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll send also engineer and medical just in
Ensign
case.
Salixon goes, and you don't have any medical staff except yourself, Captain Lockstead. Everyone else is...
All right. Wow,
not
that's
trained.
incredible. I'm the only one.
There's
All
not really a
right.
ship's doctor, per se.
Very well. You know what? I'll take a. Can I send a medical droid aboard?
Sure, you can send a medical droid. A drone, medical drone.
A drone.
Trash can-sized,
a
rolling...
Dalek.
Essentially. Yeah, trash can, robot.
I'll do that then. And once we have the shuttle out, and then I'll go ahead and make the hail.
Shuttle deployed, Captain. Ensign Gregory is aboard. Shall I space him? Like we talked about.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No one will ask any questions?
I
can make it look
No.
like an accident.
No. We're not doing that.
No like no, or no like no?
No.
I'm beginning to question if the computer was fixed or not.
Understood.
Wink.
I was gonna say, like, the computer had to be like, I'm winking slowly.
But I will have Gregory sit right next to
I will
the
have
phone.
Gregory killed.
Oh god. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, shuttle's been deployed. You ready?
Yep.
Warp coils charged. Deploy when ready, Lieutenant Commander Belmont.
Okay. You give me the signal, Captain.
On my mark. let's do this.
Oh God.
The Loveless main viewer becomes a blur. At once, you are seeing the asteroid from one perspective, and moments later, you see it from a different perspective, and moments later, you see it from a different perspective, and moments later, another. This continues for some time until you are 14 perspectives in. Everyone on the bridge, except for Lieutenant Ram, please take 2 points of stress as you fight the urge to vomit.
Open hell now!
Channel open. All frequencies.
This is Captain Eugene Lockstead of the USS Lovelace, accompanied by an enormity of other ships that wish to see the return of the Doctor immediately, or there will be consequences. A shuttle is arriving now to your location. Do the smart thing and return the Doctor.
A few moments pass, and the main viewer lights up with an image. The image is of a Trill in gray attire, almost militaristic in form. They are older, and they appear angry and bitter.
Captain! My name is Captain Kurvos Kag of the Trill Separatist Assembly. You are currently approaching an unmanned station. We've departed this station hours ago by now. I can see on my sensors you've brought a lot of Starfleet resources for us to, I don't know, explode. Thank you. We'll salvage those.
Oh boy.
The ex-Trill that you speak of, he unfortunately joined member of our species, is still at the station. And judging by my calculations, life support having been cut 20-30 minutes ago, they're probably gone by now. The Trill Separatist Assembly will see the extinction of every symbiont within our lifetime. Mark my words, Starfleet.
I do not think that's going to bode very well. If you wish to work with Starfleet.
We don't. We don't want anything to do with Starfleet.
They're separate. They're separatists.
Yeah, definitely separatists.
I think at this point, so they're
This is going to
they're
call
not even
your
at-
alliance into question.
Not everyone wants to work. God, so high and mighty. Not everyone wants to work with Starfleet. All of your bureaucracies and rules. Constantly cavorting with those symbiont parasites.
What is your issue exactly
What's your
with
beef,
this?
man?
Captain, I don't know how long I can maintain this.
Please
Very
take
well.
one. Oh, I'll add it here. You're at 1 breach for your engines. You have 5 more to go before you were dead in the water.
All right. With that, very well. If you're not here at the station and you're finished with the Doctor, we will be retrieving them, dead or alive. And as for you, I wish to not speak with you anymore. And I'll close comms. I'm not even going to begin to try to understand why they don't like the symbionts of some of their people.
Comms closed, Captain.
What's your problem, dude? Why are you so angry?
What's your problem? Like, chill out.
Let's open up a dialogue and rap about this.
So, yeah.
Take the picture, Herrick. It's hip hop. You wouldn't understand.
Is this
It's communications to you, Captain. Your comm badge.
I'll take it.
Captain, this is Ensign Gregory. I'm here at the, I'm here at the,
I forgot we sent him.
at the base? It's a base of some kind. The security folks are clearing it for us. I'm terrified. They said that they found a casualty. I don't know what that means.
You know, Gregory,
Yeah.
your job there is very important. So I hope you do understand
Yeah.
why I've sent you. You know, you're essential to the mission.
Yeah.
I trust that they are going to be bringing back the casualty to the ship.
Oh, well, here's the thing though, Captain. It's the doctor, and she's dying.
Yes, all the more reason to quickly bring the doctor back to the ship.
Oh, Captain, it's, I don't think we can do that. It's not gonna, oh, that's gross. Ooh. Ugh, I hate it. Sorry, Captain, this trill is gonna die here within the next minute if we don't do something. I don't know.
Well, yes! Hurry it up!
What do you want us to do?
Bring them aboard the ship
or the-
and then back to our ship!
Captain,
That's what
Captain,
I
the
mean.
medbot. Can you talk the medbot through like
The
triage?
medbot doesn't know how to.
No. Can you
It doesn't know how to
assume
feel.
direct control of the medbot?
Is that something I can do? Assume direct control of the medbot?
Potentially, if you for a high enough roll, I'll allow you to remote control the medbot. If you make a high
All
enough
right.
roll. Yeah, sure. Daring and medicine. It'd be daring and medicine roll. A complication of 3. Task roll of 2.
It hits a seam in the floor, tips over, and explodes.
I just immediately stab Gregory. Like a scalpel or something.
No!
Fully inject him.
Oh no!
Oh.
That's a critical fail. Oh
Yep.
no! Well, you want to burn some
Wait.
momentum for? Oh wait.
We don't have it.
Oh wait.
We burned it.
You are unable to assume a remote control situation with the medbot. However, you are receiving a report from the medbot.
Out of town.
Captain,
Computer?
telemetry to the medbot is currently functioning. However, the drone is sending information related to the status of the drill subject.
Set it to main view.
The main viewer has an image of Ensign Gregory and another one of the security officers who's still enforcing a perimeter against no one. And you can see on the main viewer a medbot and its armature trying to decide where to start cutting. And you can see a report of data of text starts scrolling by the bottom of the screen on the main viewer, and it says essentially that excision of the symbiont is the only way to save the symbiont in the body. That so many toxins have been built up inside of the bloodstream of this particular trill that it's hazardous to both the body and the symbiont, but only if they remain joined. You know, based on your knowledge of trill biology, that the symbiont may survive for about 45 seconds tops when not inside of a host. This trill is dying as one point of threat is reduced from the board.
And we don't have. They couldn't get back to the ship on time, or in time. It's that close.
They don't have enough time to return from the ship
They'd need like a stasis chamber or something.
or a host.
Yeah. Or a host. Gregory is there.
Cram them on in.
Fucking, I mean, it can always
they
be.
also work with humans?
Here's the thing.
Well, Ensign Gregory is human. Ensign Salixon is Andorian. You suspect that Andorian biology might be more resilient to drill to adoption.
I mean, worst case, they can do a transfer later on. They do that. Jesus.
That's
Looks-
gonna be
Belmont
really
just wants to
tough.
get laid.
It looks as
It
though
might.
the universe has bestowed upon you 2 points of momentum.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Your momentum stands at 2, your threat stands at 1. Thank you, Ezreaver Pra.
Yes, thank you.
Did need that, thank you.
Yeah, that's a big one.
so I think having this knowledge, I'll relay to the away team. It seems the only way that we're going to be able to save the Doctor is to remove the symbiotic relationship that's currently in place. So that means transferring the
Symbiont.
the symbiont to a new host in order to save the Doctor's life. Salixon,
Yes, Captain?
are you ready to go above and beyond?
You want me to pilot the shuttle, or you want me to...
What?
I would like you to take on the symbiont.
Well... That's... Captain,
That's an order.
Of all fucking people, too. He was so grossed out.
Captain, I don't know what to say. It's such an honor. I don't know if I'm the right one for the job. Ensign Gregory is available.
I didn't know
Ensign
that
Gregory is going,
questioning
like-
came with orders.
I'm pretty sure ordering a crew member to be implanted with
no,
a symbiote
no.
is
that not
against
something?
regs.
Yeah,
Is
you
it-
definitely you can't force another.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
you can heavily suggest it and applaud towards the individual.
You may attempt to convince Ensign Salixon.
I say roll for it. I know we have momentum, but fuck
Actually,
it.
hold on.
It would be
hold
a
on
daring
second.
and command roll with a complication of 2 and a task roll of 2, and I'd play some heroic music if you succeed.
Oh, come on.
Or just give a
Would-
really good inspiring speech. Come on, man.
Yeah, let's do. I want to try to do a speech and see if I can.
Well, the roll's got to be with the speech,
okay,
surely.
all right. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
You can
let's-
use. You have 2
so-
momentum now too.
Okay. Which? So, what am I rolling for again?
It'll be daring and command with a complication of 2 and a task roll of 2.
Okay.
To commit a crime,
You-
really.
You know, it's not.
It's not the worst.
Is a partial success.
Captain, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do that.
Look, I understand it's asking a lot of you, and it isn't something I can make you do. Honestly, I wouldn't want that done to me either. It's quite disgusting. I mean, have you seen, could you imagine that sort of relationship just with something that's been attached to somebody else for so long? It's just basically an extension of themselves, and then asking you to take on that would be. I understand that's disturbing, and it is unfortunately the only way that we're going to be able to save this Doctor's life.
Herrick is
So-
exchanging another look with Belmont during all just.
Maybe I shouldn't have said all of that stuff beforehand. That's made you even more against doing it. But right now, you have the chance to save a life, Salixon, and it's up to you now. We can ask Gregory, but it's your call.
Okay, Captain.
Just
But I
know
want holodeck time.
you may have as much holodeck time as you wish. We will give you the week.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Anything for holodeck time.
Yeah, well, it's definitely an addiction.
You watch the view screen as Ensign Salixon is laid down next to Dr. Tux. You see an image of the medical bot. You can't hear anything. You can only see the silent image unfold. You see a giant circular saw start whirring up. You see Ensign Salixon's eyes open wide. You see Ensign Salixon's face go from a light blue to almost white. You see a hypo spray from the second medical bot stick right into Ensign Salixon's neck, deploy, and then Ensign Salixon looks drowsy and falls back. You see a very long, uncomfortable image of the circular saws and surgery at work. You can shut this off at any point. There's
Yeah, why are we watching? I think
There's-
we would have immediately turned the viewer off.
No, Herrick
This
will
is-
not let the viewer be turned off because he needs to watch what he's made Salixon do.
there's an identical incision made on Ensign Salixon. Audio is cutting in and out. You can kind of sort of start to hear sounds. It's
Oh, God.
really big. It's a really big symbiont. It's a huge, ugly worm, and it gets sort of yoinked out of Dr. Tux and placed inside of the Andorian, Ensign Salixon, and they get stitched up, and you get a call.
Captain,
Yes, computer.
Medbot telemetry is reporting a successful operation. Ensign Salixon has 6 minutes to live.
Excellent. Let's double time it back to the ship.
Understood. Are we leaving Gregory here, or...
I'm sorry, what?
What? Never mind.
What did you say?
Understood.
What? No. Repeat that.
Captain, I'll need to stop this process so they can board.
Yes, please.
I think I'll do that as easily and gently as I can.
The ship stands at 4 engine breaches. There are plasma ruptures on decks 3, 7, and 12. Your engineering team is down 2 members of its staff.
Captain, I need to. We're down some people. I'm gonna need to leave the bridge to take care of some damage from this procedure.
Of course, Lieutenant Commander. Of course.
Right, and then Belmont leaves to go work on the damage.
Sure.
Captain,
Yes, computer.
the shuttle is aboard.
Excellent. And I will actually excuse myself from the bridge, and I'll race back down with my medical tricorder.
Sure.
It's like a
absolutely.
bag phone.
Absolutely. Your medical tricorder is able to just about instantly detect the type of injury, the type of toxic substance that is coursing through the host body of Dr. Tux's biology. Your tricorder's already been prepped with with an anti-venom, essentially, to return
Well,
those levels to normal.
I'll go ahead and administer that. And is the symbiote also filled with toxin? Would I also need to?
No, the symbiont is fine.
The
Ensign
symbiote,
Salixon's liver has been working overtime to ensure that.
Excellent. And once everybody's been stabilized, I guess we'll go back to med bay before we do the procedure again to get the
Ensign
Symbiote
Salixon
back.
is still dying.
Oh, I guess we'll do it there then.
Yeah, so you managed to perform a surgery. It is pretty gross. There's a large worm with several tendrils that are stuck in strange places in Ensign Salixon's central nervous system. It takes quite a bit of fine surgery to remove the attachments there, and this large worm is now available to place back in your host, Dr. Carew Tux.
There we go. Excellent. It's looking quite fine. Salixon, thank you so much for doing this. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's the worst.
Okay. Yeah, everything is stable. You've patched everyone up, and everyone is unconscious. Your job in medbay is done.
Unconscious.
Congratulations, Captain.
It's a girl.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you've repaired 4 breaches, and the Lovelace is mercifully holding together. Everyone is back on the bridge.
I think I guess I would probably want to be told when the doctor wakes up. Hopefully she wakes up, but yeah.
Your last fix, your last breach was near medbay.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So
Hello.
Yeah.
Is that me?
Oh, I don't hear anything.
Oh no.
Are you hearing?
You are freaking out.
Oh no.
Everything good?
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
that happen?
you're getting a phone call or a Discord
I
call?
don't know how that's happening.
Good.
I was gonna go see the doctor, but I was like, I'll just give her a phone call. It's fine.
I'm so sorry. I
him
have
up on
no
Discord.
idea.
Shame.
I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, I mean that's weird. You're in streaming mode. I can see
We
it,
shouldn't
but
have
I don't.
done that. I'm so
Yeah, that's
sorry.
not supposed to happen.
Oh
That's
my God.
hilarious.
Immersion ruined. Shut it down.
But, I'm so
Got to
upset.
restart now.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont, you are. Oh my god, I'm so sweaty right now. You are in medbay,
Right.
having just repaired a plasma conduit rupture near the entrance.
I think probably after that much work and considering the shit that we've been through trying to keep the multi-Loveless going, I'm probably quite gross and sweaty. Walk into medbay to look for Dr. Tux.
Dr. Tux is there, and she's just regaining consciousness. She sees you and lets out a long exhale.
I think I'll walk over towards her and be like, oh, for a minute we weren't sure. We thought we were going to lose you.
Where am I? Am I back on the Loveless?
You're back on the Loveless. It was a hell of an experience. However, I think you would like to know that the experiment we ran helped in creating something kind of new and interesting. Have you read up on the Picard maneuver? It's sort of something new that happened with the Stargazer. I don't know if you know anything about it.
Don't.
Well, you were able to use the warp drive to create ghost images of the ship to make it look like a fleet to try and intimidate them to get you back.
I'm amazed that worked.
Yeah, you know what? I am too. However, I have to assume I haven't looked at the device yet, but I have no idea what state it's in, but I have to build a new one.
I'm so happy that everything worked out. I had a dream that you stepped in the way of a phaser.
I did.
Are you hurt? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm gonna be just fine. And so are you. But it's probably best if you rest for now. However, I don't think we quite finished our drink.
Kills her immediately.
No.
Well, I can't wait to take you up on that, Belmont.
I'll hold you to it.
Thank you. Back on the bridge, USS Loveless.
Captain,
Computer?
are you prepared for your all hands?
Yes, I am.
Channel open.
Attention, crew of the Lovelace. This is Captain Eugene Lockstead speaking. I would like to make it abundantly clear that the next week, or this upcoming week, Salixon has full range over the holodeck. And if any questions are asked as to why this is the case, you will not like the answer, so just don't. Thank you again, all. Oh no.
Gross. Anyway.
Thank you again, crew, for your continued work and diligence. Today we had a groundbreaking discovery in science, thanks to Lieutenant Commander Belmont and our dear doctor who we've just brought back. Be sure to congratulate both on their discovery. It is groundbreaking, and this will be taught, no doubt, in schools everywhere. This marks a historic day, so be sure to celebrate it. Captain out.
Also, no holodeck for anyone by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salixon only for the next week.
Amazing! Well done. Huge hype. That was great. I'm amazed that everything worked out. That was incredible.
It was a hell of an episode. I have to assume that what would be considered the Belmont maneuver and the experimental technology. What is it? Sector 30.
Section 31.
Yeah, Section 31. Section 31 would have gobbled that shit up and said, you will say nothing to anyone about this ever. So then Starfleet never does. No one gets backwards warp.
I don't think Section 31 wants that. I don't think Section 31 wants it at all.
No.
This is stupid.
No.
Did Admiral Black ever get that report?
Oh,
no. Well, there goes my record.
Admiral Black had to go face the Trill ambassador.
Yeah, but with good news.
Eventually there was good news.
By the way,
I'm waiting on the information any minute now.
she's been sitting there for hours.
Keeps looking at her the pad in her head. Annie.
Oh my God! So she had to go into that meeting with no information.
Yep.
Oh boy.
That's okay. She just wouldn't have brought up the fact that the doctor was sold in the first place. It's fine. It's fine. She's fine. Everyone's fine.
Just wanted to talk to the Trill ambassador for no reason.
We have our top people on it.
Top people. Top people.
We have our top men out there. Just
God, still Lockstead with just, oh God, this is so gross. Ah!
I am surprised that rolls went so well until right at the end. Right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing you had that extra momentum.
For shits and giggles, do you mind if I roll a daring and engineering at level 5 just to see what happens?
I mean, to see if you would have made it. Sure.
Yeah,
Complication 5, task roll of 2.
Okay, here we go.
Full success.
Ooh.
What? Oh,
yeah, I would have immediately. With a failure like that, I would have immediately put your breaches to 5. You had one more breach, and it would have been.
Didn't work.
If there'd been no successes on that roll, it would have been. You would have just. You would have been dead in the water.
Captain, we've jettisoned the warp core. I'm so sorry.
I had a failure
ready
condition.
for the minute.
I had a failure condition in my mind, and it was that if you failed any of these like critical rolls for the maneuver, that it was going to make you dead in the water, and one of the threat points was going to be used for launching one of those like surface-to-air missiles from the base.
Oh.
I was, I wouldn't have even suggested it because I just thought it'd be so insane. I didn't even think about momentum. It's just such a stupid thing. Like we're an armada.
Yeah, I'm really glad they weren't at the base, or else the way the captain sounded, like, ha! Shoot him down.
Shoot him down.
Light him up.
Light him up.
That was great. You guys
yeah.
are so good. I'm so proud.
Thank you. It was a great episode. You did really well writing it. It was really good.
We're only as good as the material we're given, so a lot of
Exactly.
credit goes to you.
Absolutely.
100%.
We had a viewer question, Asenonics. I thought you had 2 warp cores. There's 1 warp core. There are 2 reactors. It's different. There's a electrical reactor that's supposed to make
different.
It's supposed to make systems a little bit more redundant on the older Excelsior class. They don't have 2 warp cores. They have a single warp core, but they have 2 reactors for electric power, plasma power. Yeah. So
Cool.
this was great. Thank you all so much for being a part of Star Trek Adventures Loveless. We're gonna go around and give everybody a little shout out here. Kicking it off with Fist of the Walrus.
Hello, I'm Fist of the Walrus. I played Captain Eugene Lockstead. Today's episode was incredible, seeing as that we've done a groundbreaking discovery in science, and also we've had 2 worm surgeries. But
Can't call them that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's offensive.
Sorry.
Parasite surgeries.
I touched the worm.
I'm sorry.
Should have rolled to see if he'd drop it, honestly, when he was doing it.
Roll.
Delicately. No. Oh, shit.
Oops.
But yeah, it was a very fun episode, and you can catch me over at Twitch and Twitter and YouTube at Fist of the Walrus. Had a great time today.
Awesome. Thank you, Fist. Next up is Log the Raven.
I'm Locke the Raven. I play Commander Herrick, the long-suffering Vulcan first officer of the Loveless. And you can also catch me on Fable Scraps' other show, Doom Lore, a 40K story. Every Friday, I'm Ohm13, the can't-be-bothered tech priest. And I'm also a variety streamer on Twitch. You can also find me on Nicotine Stream, because I live there. And on Twitch and Twitter at Locke the Raven, spelled like it sounds.
Thank you, Log. Next up is...
Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, Lieutenant Commander Belmont, Aaron Black. I was just reading the
Hello.
screen.
I know.
Like all of it. Just next up is Com
I almost
Link.
said Com Link? Who's Com Link?
Aaron Black.
Human Threat Momentum. Tell us about your channel.
Hi, my name is Human Threat Momentum. I hate my parents. And my name is Aaron. My name is Aaron Black. Yes, I played Lieutenant Commander Belmont. I had a blast, absolute blast on this episode. They're all great. They're all fun. They're all interesting and different from each other, which I really appreciate it. I'm a writer, author, and if you want to know more about that, you can find me over on Twitter at Aaron B. Writes. But yeah, that's it. I had a great time.
Thank you so much. Next up is Anavan.
Hello there, I'm Anavan, streamer here on Twitch. Typically I stream variety, and in that variety is chill games and roleplay. You can find me at twitch.tv/Anavan, that's ENEVUN.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anavan. My name is Nicotine. I'm one of the people here behind Fable Scraps. I'm also the DM here for Star Trek Adventures Loveless. You can find this show every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific. That's 6 p.m. Eastern here at twitch.tv/Fable Scraps. If you're listening to the show on podcasting apps such as Spotify or Stitcher, you can find our VODs here or on YouTube. And feel free to check out our Twitter account where we post our going live notifications. They are also posted in our Discord at fablescraps.com/Discord, where you can share your love of tabletop roleplay with the rest of the fans here at Fable Scraps. Thank you all so much for being here, for your subscriptions, for your donations. S Reaver Pra coming in with a clutch 2 momentum. Mooney for your sub. Eldritch Amy. Thank you all so much. You're wonderful. Have a fantastic rest of your week. We'll be back next week with more Fable Scraps. and Star Trek Adventures Loveless. Don't forget to follow the Twitch channel. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Farewell.